Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 172. We actually had a lot of stuff happen this past week, and games actually came out, so we have a bunch of things to go over, right? Yeah. So we'll be talking about Paper Mario, Ghost of Tsushima, some of the Mario Direct rumors that are set for this week, it seems, and then our final Xbox event predictions that'll be taking place on the 23rd. But we do have a special guest tonight. That is one Brian Altano.
Good to see you all. Yay. I love you guys. I'm really fucking happy to be back.
Yeah. Brian, my boy, good to see you here, man.
Good to see you all too. I feel like I was on the show like when the world first fell apart, and it was like a highlight. So let's do it again.
How are things out there now? Are they getting any better or
no? Everything is. I think everything is getting worse for everyone everywhere that's in America, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was like if restrictions were changing or you're able to move around a bit better now, and I wasn't sure how that was over on the West Coast versus the East Coast.
It's kind of like the rules are the same, but a lot of people they just pretend they don't exist anymore. And also it sort of feels like being like in high school. Everybody is like I feel like it's opposite of what I was in high school, where I was like a fuck up, but now I'm like trying to be like a goody two shoes, and everyone else is a fuck up, and I'm like, why am I getting detention when
you're doing the whole project by yourself?
I'm doing everything by myself, and I'm studying, and like I'm not smoking weed on the bus, and now I'm still in summer school. So
it depends on where you are, but they forced us to say places that you have to wear masks. So now we got a mandate from the governor here in California that you have to wear masks, and now they're not letting people in. They're just like, no, you can't come inside if you don't have a mask.
That's
they have like a little reader. They'll take your temperature, and you have to wear a mask. So they'll take your temperature at the door, and you have to wear a mask.
See, in Maryland here, you can't go in anywhere without a mask, stores or anything. You can go in there are private establishments where you'll schedule an appointment. You can go in without a mask then, but any public place where you're Walmart, Food Lion, hey, you got it says right at the door, wear a mask or you can't come in.
Right.
So.
I just have no interest. I see so many people out still going to restaurants where it is separated, and the only time you don't have to have your mask on is at your table. But I'm like, I don't want to sit that's the last place I want to be.
And people are doing that. I see people outside at Denny's, packed people there. All the restaurants, people are still going out. Yeah, and they're getting it. That's the funny. And they're getting. Oh, I didn't know it was gonna happen. Oh, what do you mean you didn't know it was gonna happen? And people are getting it. They're like, I didn't know. I'm like, oh god.
Here in Texas, it's still exploding. So now it's at a thing where there's guards at a lot of doors. If you're going into a store, there's a person at the door to just basically yell at you if you're not wearing a mask, because it's just yesterday 80 babies got COVID in Texas.
Oh gosh.
Babies. It's like, okay, we can't be adults about this anymore.
I think in Maryland we've been all right for the most part. I think we've been at least above or at average
recently,
anyway. Yeah. I think Jordan, right? Yeah, I think we've been all right.
Good.
So it's
Northeast in general, it seems like it's been it exploded in the Northeast, but then they sort of quelled it by shutting fucking everything down.
It's all the people who left New York during the pandemic. And
check with Bob to see how New York is. We'll get on that.
I heard New York is a lot better. They had no deaths.
Yeah, my whole family's out there. It's definitely better for sure.
Okay.
I mean, that was the epicenter when it first popped off, but
everyone's taking it seriously now because they're wearing the mask, they're social distancing, they're not going so if you take it serious it can go away, but some places people don't feel like taking it serious.
You know how many people I've encountered here in Florida that were like, your flights to Florida were so cheap, so we're here for the week because I don't have to work. And I'm like, why are you go home?
They paid me to come here
now. Florida is literally the world's epicenter now.
I was on 50 airplanes last year, and I was on 0 this year, and there's really nothing. I see all the prices dropping, and part of me is like, oh, I should go somewhere. But the other thing is that we're basically in a huge jail. Most people don't want us to go. You can go to other parts of America, but there's only 22 countries where your passport works right now.
My roommate is super frugal. He's one of those dudes who's obsessed with getting deals, and he's already keeps coming to me like, dude, if we buy a plane ticket to Japan for next year, it's $400 if we buy it right now. It's
that's true.
My friends
just can't cancel
it's worth
a ticket.
Well, we have no choice. We have to stay home and play video games then.
No, Spawncast from Japan.
I wouldn't mind going to Japan at some point. That'd be
I'll
cool.
write that off my
see,
taxes.
Brian, you're welcome to come too. You go
Japan does not want our American butts there. They said no. They're not letting us back in for a while. You book one for next year, you ain't gonna get your money because there's no way they're letting us in next year. It's gonna be at least 2 years before Japan even thinks about letting us back in their country.
It's gonna be a decade.
I'm in, but it's not our choice.
We are not going to be able to go to Japan next year.
Oh man. Well, we did. Fortunately, the video games are still out there, so everyone's still playing. I'm gonna go around here. We got Max, Dreamcast guy. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? This week, I don't know about anybody else, I fully beat Paper Mario and I fully beat Ghost of Tsushima. And in fact, in Tsushima, I'm now trying to do every side quest. I'm going to platinum it. In fact, today I actually streamed fighting all the random swordsmen, all the Ronin. That game gets hard as hell. We'll talk about that more later, but I love it.
We got Jordan relaunching a new channel over there.
It's Pickle Guy.
Mr. Pickles.
It's a pickle guy.
I don't even have to say anything. Hi, there you go. You heard it here first.
We're just gonna check that out. It looks like a fun channel starting up there, Jordan. So
Absolutely, you should check it out. Doesn't look like it is a fun channel. I watched both episodes. If you're into 90s cartoons, which are the greatest cartoons in the world, you're gonna have to go check out Jordan Fringe's channel. It's really good. It's called Pickle. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There we go. Evan's here with us tonight. You actually played a game you could fill us in on a little bit this past week that I think will be pretty interesting.
Oh yeah,
so.
yeah, a little.
Because you well, it's gonna be real because this week coming up, you're gonna go from technically a lower end video card to more of a mid range video card.
Yep.
So I'll be curious to see how that game scales as well. Let's get into that soon. Miss Click, how's it going?
Hey,
How you doing?
it's great. You know, I finally got to play a little bit of Ghost today, so it was good.
Oh, good. All right, cool.
We'll play Paper Mario later.
You know what? I'm hearing that a lot. It's like,
I feel like,
Ghost.
I feel like people are looking at me like I'm a traitor, but you know what? I really want to play Ghost for a little while now.
I mean, it's not Paper Mario is Paper Mario. It's not Breath of the Wild 2, you know. So, right?
This is true.
Yeah. OJ, what's up? We got player essence here.
But I've been playing a lot of Ghost and a lot of. I've somehow been playing both. You know. So, but I played more of Ghost. But I got into Paper Mario, got into Ghost, so we'll talk about it, I guess, in a bit. Cool. But yeah, been enjoying it. It's been good. Good week for gamers. And I got Persona 5 Royal is also $40. So
that's a good deal. That's a good deal.
That's the game that everybody should be picking up right now. That's the game right there. That game.
Sean, what's up? RGT's with us.
Chilling. Been playing video games and talking about video games.
Nice. There's good eShop sales.
Yeah,
over there.
Really good eShop sale. Surprise. Burnout is already $10.
Don't even
off.
say it. Don't even say it.
Oh, is it really?
Move past Burnout.
Wait, did you just say that you were surprised about an eShop sale?
I was surprised that like Burnout was on sale and The World Ends With You is on sale.
$40 now.
Yeah, it's $40 now. Look, it should have been $40 when it came out because that's what it was.
It should have been 30.
It should have been. Well, yeah, but I mean, even price parity to the PS4 and the Xbox One version that released at $40. Like, I think it would have been better. They obviously had to do what they had to do, but
Burnout released at 50. Crisis going to release at 30.
Right.
Okay. Just
Crisis is going to
out
sell, and Burnout's not.
Burnout has way more content than Crisis, though. But you guys are right on the price stuff, though.
Burnout is a good game. It's just when they dropped it at 50, I was like,
50's too much. It has all the deals. It has all the. I mean, I played the game originally. I platinumed it on the PS3 back in the day, and I bought the DLC back in the day and beat all that. And it's definitely there's like hella content. The game's super good, but yeah, it shouldn't have been 50.
The moment that game gets down to 30, I will recommend it then because it is a good port. It is actually a good port. So.
40 would have been like if I was like 3 double vodka sodas deep at like a port bar. And I'm like, right, I'm about to get on this plane. This is the time to oh fuck, Burnout. I can play it on the plane.
There is some convenience
I don't
there.
go anywhere. The convenience has gotten down. I don't go anywhere anymore. So now I have to really think about shit like that because I'm like, do I play it on consoles, on PC, get it on Switch?
And you didn't buy Ski Sniper?
No, I did not.
Nate, how much is Ski Sniper now, Nate?
More than it was when I bought it.
Oh.
It was like 50 cents when I got it. So
how you doing tonight, Nate? How's it going?
I'm finishing up a thumbnail for a video MVG and I recorded today that will go live tomorrow morning.
Oh,
no.
another Nate the Hate episode. I see. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Any-
quality one that people will want to listen to if they want to be, up to date on current events.
Any hint towards what the one tomorrow is going to be about?
It's going to be something that everyone listening will want to hear.
Is it about Nintendo Direct stuff?
It could be. It might not be.
There you go. There you go.
Is the Grinch back?
The Grinch.
No, the Grinch is not back. Grinch Leap is still fake.
Man. Okay. So we want to talk about some video games outside of Paper Mario and Ghosts, since we'll go into those after that. Anyone play anything else? I did play Halo 3 on PC. It dropped. Nate, John and I, Game Explain, got to play and had a blast. We won quite a bit. So we did very well.
That's shocking because I watched his live stream on Game Explain and he was doing horrific.
Yeah, but he was with me. We rolled through stuff, man. We were fine.
Do you have gameplay of this? Do you have any footage?
Gamer over here.
I need proof. Wait, you know what?
These claims.
I actually might be able to, because if I remember right, Halo 3 from back in the day, the coolest thing about Halo 3, it recorded every one of your matches.
Oh yeah.
I bet you I can go back and look right now and I can show you that we won. I think we won. I would say we won 4 out of 5 matches.
4 out of 5.
Hey, not bad.
Yep. One of them we won by like 40 points. The other team, they ran around the corner. I shot him with a sniper immediately, and then I shot his friend, and one of them just quit immediately. So we had fun. I mean, it was a good time. It was a good time with Halo 3.
Yeah, I watched his live stream, and he was doing really, really poorly. He died
John,
a lot.
if you're listening, don't listen, John. Don't listen.
This is Nate the Hate. This is branding.
You can just go to Game Explain and watch the stream right now, and he's literally just sitting there like, okay, I'm doing really bad. I need a new strategy, and died immediately.
You know what a strategy could have? Strategy could have been invite John. John. When was
that might have been his strategy because it was launch day. He streamed it that morning.
Oh, okay. We'll stream again. John, if you're out there.
He was using gyro controls, and he was just getting bodied.
Okay, don't do that. But we'll stream again. We'll stream again.
Can I let you guys in on a little secret?
Yes.
Sometimes we will get gameplay provided to IGN by developers, and we'll post it up just raw as is. And people will be like, IGN sucks at games, and
it's the devs.
It's not us playing, but we're too nice to be like, it's not us, it's these guys. They're terrible.
Oh, no.
So we never do that. So we just let it go. We absorb all that hatred, and then we just sit down and just
wow,
man.
Do you feel bad now, chat? You should feel bad.
So you're telling me that guy who played Cuphead, even though it wasn't you guys' publication, that wasn't actually him playing Cuphead?
That was him.
Did y'all ever see there was an interesting interview at one point when they were making Artifact. I remember there was a famous streamer when they revealed Artifact, that like terrible Valve card game. They revealed it, I think, on an IGN stream, and the guys were playing it for the first time ever live, and people in the IGN chat were roasting him like, I can't believe you did that move. And apparently one of the developers later was like, you don't know the rules. Stop trying to tell me how to play my game. I literally invented the rules.
Well, that's why the shows come to my channel. It's always quality gameplay at the highest tier.
Well, you guys have seen The Wizard, right? Like the old ass movie. I mean, like, there's the
I watched it like a week ago.
They're like finding what for real?
I'm not surprised.
The kids in that movie are finding all the warp zones in Mario 3 that literally isn't released yet, and like they're doing the shit where you can like squat down on the white blocks, fall through, run behind the curtain, get the warp whistle. Like
it's because he's the wizard. He's the wizard.
Fred Savage.
It wasn't Fred Savage.
Take that back. Who said Nate?
Brother.
Take that back.
No.
Take it back.
I like the Savage.
Never.
It's the titular. It's the
You're a
titular
douchebag,
wizard.
man. Fred Savage is cool. Screw you.
What's even done except that movie?
Oh gosh, wait, let's save it for George. Movie Wave.
Wonder Years, wasn't he in Wonder Years?
Yes, he was on Wonder Years.
That show's awesome.
Little
Monster has Boy Meets World, the superior show.
They look so similar. I get them confused. They're together.
Fred Savage was also on Boy Meets World when he was trying to, in the college years when he was trying to fuck Topanga.
That is true. And then Corey had to fight him. He was like, yo, you touch my wife again, I'll knock you out. He's like, what are you going to do? He punched him. He's like, you're getting expelled now, boy.
That shit was so good.
Boy,
that was one of the best episodes.
That would be your best episode, wouldn't it?
Somehow we went from Halo 3 to this.
Shit got real. Shit got real in Boy Meets World. That's what happens.
So
honestly, all the TGIF shows touched on things like that, like Family Matter. Family Matters had some really like some big social issues in that show that people just forgot about because they sort of moved it to just like the Urkel comedy show. But like the first few seasons, like there was some deep shit on that show.
Yo, shout out to Topanga though, bro. I mean, we need to get her on the show.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
Okay.
What's the
Right.
Danielle,
she
we
playing
gotta
good?
get her on here.
Okay. Halo 3 was good. Halo 3 is a good game on PC. Great port. Everyone should play it. I get 144 frames at 1440p on the 2070 Super, so it is a very good port. But and John at Game Explain, if you need me, call me in. We'll stream again on the channel. We got you. I also played Crosscode. I put another 10 hours in the Crosscode. Awesome game. Everyone should play it.
It's on Game Pass.
It is on Game Pass, yes. So if you're unsure and you're on the fence, but you have an Xbox hooked up, I don't know if it's Game Pass PC. It might just be console. I have to double check. But it would run on a potato of a PC anyway. So it is an awesome game. I got further in. I did the first dungeon. I'm halfway through the next dungeon. The dungeons are long. Like the first dungeon was like 4 or 5 hours long. But it is like Zelda style dungeons in this, to where you get like 3/4 of the way through, you get a new power, and then you get the rest of the way through and beat the boss with it. It is, like I said, dot hack inspired for the story, which the story's all right, I guess. But the combat's good because it has like Secret of Mana action combat, and then it also has some deep RPG elements with like full skill trees and everything. So I think it is worth picking up, even at $20. But Game Pass, it's there to download the trial on the Xbox. So I fully recommend Crosscode. Absolutely.
I'm all into it. I actually was gonna grab the Switch version, but I read it. It had like some technical issues.
It has slowdown.
Kind of choppy. Yes.
Ooh.
Yep. When things are happening on screen like crazy, it starts to have some slowdown. From what I noticed.
Patch is coming though. The patch is coming.
A patch is coming apparently. We'll see. It does look like a game that shouldn't have slowdown on the Switch. When I'm playing it, I'm like, it kind of looks like a Game Boy Advance game. Is what it reminds me of.
It looks cool though, man. I dig it. I'm a big dot hack fan though.
You would like the story a lot then, Max, because it kind of does that faux MMORPG thing.
Oh, I love that.
Idea.
That's so cheap. I love that.
Yes, that's what it tries to do. I think it pulls it off fairly well for the most part. So, but outside of Ghosts and Paper Mario, those were the big things that I played. What about everyone else?
I did a little bit of Smash Brothers this week. Just played a little bit of Ultimate. Went online and just got schooled a little bit. Just because I realized I have not played my Lite. I haven't played my Switch Lite in literally 6 months. So I kind of just played it because I had it installed. So I was like, okay, so we have Google Fiber here. So I thought maybe I can school kids because I have faster internet. Nope. They dumpstered me. So I don't play Smash anymore.
Who are you using?
Bowser. I feel like I'm so. I fought you with my Bowser,
main.
and I feel like I'm decent with Bowser. I've fought like I've never beaten OJ, but I feel like I can kind of understand how he's throwing me in the dumpster fire. But it was not good.
Yeah, people online can either be really good or they can be really bad. Bowser, the problem is that Bowser is just like combo food, because he's so big and like he's just pretty. You can just juggle him.
Yeah, and that was my thing is that I feel like when I was in the middle of the stage, I could like toss him around, but as soon as I get towards the ledge, I'm just like, well, all right, I'm just gonna go ahead and log out and go get some tea.
Yeah, it can be tough. Be tough for Bowser mains out there. It can be tough for Bowser mains.
Did you stop playing your Switch Lite when Animal Crossing came out?
No, well, so I didn't play it then because I had to record footage, so I had to put it on my main.
Yeah, to
Switch.
start your island on the main Switch.
Because that's what killed it for me. Was like,
yep.
Yeah, I love my Switch Lite. I had actually I was using it like 100% over my regular Switch, and then Animal Crossing came out, and I was like, I had that decision to make, and I was like, yep, and I've just been there since. It's a bummer.
Well, it's definitely just been the thing of I'm not going anywhere, and I used to purposely install all my really more portable focused games on the Switch Lite. So I'd keep like Final Fantasies on there, or I'd keep like Link's Awakening on there. But now that I'm not leaving the house, it's like, well, I'll just play it on my TV. Like, there's no point sitting in the living room with the Switch.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. What about Brian?
So I jumped into Far Cry 3 again for some.
Oh wow! Okay,
Wow.
What system are you playing that on?
I'm playing it on PS4 because it was like 90% off or something.
Yeah, Ubisoft ran some crazy deals during their Ubisoft Forward stuff.
Yeah, it was like 90% off, and then there was like 10% for PlayStation Plus, so it was just free basically. I don't know how the fuck that works. But my friend Max Scoville put me onto it because he was like, we had just finished up Ghost of Tsushima, and I was like inching closer to the platinum, and I wanted like some big, stupid, goofy open world game to play again. So I jumped into that, and then just today I downloaded the. Have you guys fucked with the PC port of Mario 64?
Okay, so that's a weird one because on YouTube, Nintendo like they'll come for those videos sometimes if you show footage of it. But let's say that there is a PC in my house somewhere that may or may not have the Mario 64 PC version of it.
Yeah.
No, you can go ahead. You can go ahead though. Yeah.
I know. I don't want to get you flagged or anything. I played a PC port of a popular.
If we just don't show footage of it, they don't care.
The Pasta Man,
the
Pasta Man 64.
As you can imagine, Pasta Pipe Boy went into the pipe.
No, you're good. You're good. As long as they don't show footage of it, they don't care if we talk about it.
I can hold up like a Mario figure if you want and just act it out. It was
that'd be cool.
Let's get some stop motion going.
Knowing Nintendo,
He's right
probably
there.
still flag it.
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute.
He's right
Mario.
there. Yeah,
right
Mario
there.
in the Stormtrooper.
Oh god,
that's the Pasta Plumber Boy himself, right there. It runs super smooth. It's fucking weird. You guys have played emulated versions of this game before. It's weird as hell playing this thing with like an Xbox One controller.
Yeah.
And then there's like a little bit of wonkiness in terms of just like the visual fidelity versus how ancient the textures are, but people are working on texture packs for it.
It looks good so far. Like everything they've done to it.
Have you seen how people have reverse engineered the original photos that were used as
I really wish
material?
I really wish MVG was here. He's off tonight because he has some things he's doing, but like he would be the perfect person to talk to about this right now because he's really into that stuff.
It's so fucking people have found like the original stock photo of the rocks they used like in one texture on a wall in Mario 64.
Oh yeah, I saw that
high res version of it. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like when they finally get all that running, it's going to be like it's going to totally be Uncanny Valley. Like it's gonna fuck it.
What's really funny is this way back when they started to like decompile it. I remember MVG and I were talking about it. I was like, I don't know how long it'll be for that to happen. And then months later, it was like, oh, it's done. I was like, oh. People really like Mario 64 still, so they're willing to do that. Which is why whenever Nintendo does announce this collection, it's gonna explode online because of
I can't
Mario 64 and stuff. But like, yeah, that PC port looks ridiculous. Yes, and they're gonna keep working on it because it's like it's such a big deal to everyone. And there are I think there are a couple other games that are getting decompiled too. We had talked about GoldenEye's one of them. Which is going to be, if they decompile that, there's a lot of things they could do then with it. And then I think Perfect Dark might have been too. There's a bunch that are being worked on, right now. But like Mario 64 had such a massive priority for them. I think, Ocarina of Time, that's the other one. So a lot of them are being worked on. But yeah, that was pretty cool to see all those improvements.
I'm torn on that because I actually liked the Grezzo port to 3DS. Thought that came out awesome.
Oh yeah,
but I would totally play with a version of that was completely upscaled. See what they can do.
Absolutely. What about Jordan?
Not too much time this week because of channel stuff, but yeah, I was in a pickle because of pickle. So I finally got to play Ghost of Tsushima. My pre-order, like the Steelbook edition, Amazon was like, instead of Friday, how does next Tuesday sound? And I was like, I don't want to do that, but I'll still want that edition, so I'll wait. So I just bought it digitally and played it right at midnight. I'm several hours in, and it is.
Is that Ghost? Is that Ghost?
Yeah, Ghost. Yeah, it is so good. We'll talk when we get into it, but like I am. This is something I've been waiting for, and I'm personally not disappointed. This is a fantastic experience so far.
Okay, Evan, hit us with it. What'd you play this week?
Been playing PC version of Death Stranding.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Pog.
So you told me a while ago you were going to get the PC version of Death Stranding because you watched people play it and you're like, I'm pretty interested in this game. I
wanted to see how the Decima engine works on PC. It runs great, and that's why I'm interested in the new card I'm getting this week because of the AI rendering and all that.
Are you getting 60 frames out of your card? I'm not going to tell people what the card is right this second. Are you getting 60 out of it?
It feels like I get 60 at times, but where I'm at right now, I feel like it's probably in the 45s.
Okay, and you're 1080p right now, or are you 1440?
1440.
Okay, so you're getting close to 60 frames at times. Death Stranding, 1440p. Are you at high, medium? What are you on right now?
The highest setting.
Highest setting. That's on a GTX 1060.
Yeah.
That is really good. That is insane. And you're going to a 2060, right?
Yeah.
This week. Yeah, you're gonna do really well. 1440 60, probably no problem. Highest settings. But that is super impressive, by the way, on PC for the Death Engine to go over. And apparently they did a lot of things with that game. Did you notice, Evan, that they took because it's 30 frames on the PS4 Pro. Did you notice that they took the cutscenes and redid them so that they were also at 60?
Yeah, the cutscenes are probably the smoothest thing that I get to see, since most of them are indoors and very specifically small areas.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I saw some of the footage on that, and I honestly thought about picking it up to try out on my card, but like it looks crazy.
It looks great, and I know some of the later stuff that comes up, how ridiculous it starts to look, so that's why I'm glad I'm getting the card before I get there, because I did that first fight with just outside of the town where he summons up the BT and you have to like jump across buildings and fight it. That looked amazing, but I'm pretty sure that was holding a steady 40 frames a second. So I want to see one of those at 60. Like, oh, it's gonna be great.
Do you know what this gets me excited for? Is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes.
This engine works really well on PC, and it's gonna be great for any of the games that come over that use it.
What were you gonna say, Miss Click?
I was gonna say, I know there was some like unreleased like music and tracks too. Did you encounter any of those, or is like a separate bank?
I'm only so far, and I'm taking it pretty slow. I just get in and play for like 2 or 3 hours.
There's new Low Roar.
All you need is Low Roar. Is there
new tracks from Low Roar?
I think there's also new like Ludwig stuff too. Like there's some new tracks from Ludwig as well. So
the visuals I saw coming out of it, like the screenshots, like they made it like even. That is like photorealistic. Some of the stuff I've seen, like I am incredibly impressed. They put a lot of time into that PC port. I thought they're just gonna put it on PC.
I might honestly grab Horizon Zero Dawn day one after seeing what Evan was talking about with that game with Death Stranding.
This engine's going to be incredible, and Horizon should look amazing because Horizon's more vibrant, I think, than what they did with Death Stranding. Death Stranding just has that like overall,
I would say so,
like gray tone.
Horizon's brighter. It's brighter.
It's more on like the red orange tones, and then Death Stranding's like the gray, blue, maybe a little green.
Yeah, but how fast you move through in Horizon Zero Dawn. Like you can run through some of those areas.
Yeah, you're on the mounts and stuff like that. Like seeing all the that'll be crazy.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Click, what'd you play?
This week, I think I was just pretty much. Chat's gonna hate me because they think I'm freaking getting paid for this, and I'm not. I just enjoy it. I really like Hyperscape.
There we go.
I really love Hyperscape.
I wish I had money on me because I want to just be like,
actually,
me too. And
I've seen some people on Twitter talk about how much they like it. I think Skill was on how much he liked it at one point.
It is so much fun, but I for me, like on the Twitch side, like getting to play with a lot of like content creators and streamers that I've like looked up to. So that was a lot of fun, just getting to like kind of rotate through and hang out. We did a Rivals, and that was really fun too.
It's a battle royale style game, right? With different, I'm struggling with battle royales now, to be honest. Going back to them, like the one I'll go back to is Apex. I think that's
the one. I mean, I haven't like I don't have, dude. No, like all other battle royales now feel so sluggish to me.
Should I try it?
It is so fast paced. It's literally and if you want to play with controller, you can play with controller. They did nerf the aim assist though, so if you need the tricycle, if you need the little handicap,
it's coming to Xbox and
it'll be coming to console. Yeah. It's an open beta right now. I mean, it's free. But it's the fastest, most smooth battle royale.
Do I need Ubisoft's installer?
You do need Uplay, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Moving along. Okay.
Isn't like moving along? Like our match is like 12 minutes. I was watching streamers talk about it, and I've heard that you just like drop in, you immediately get guns, you immediately die, you immediately get back in, you immediately kill people.
The map's tiny by comparison, so
it's like a neighborhood,
like
basically,
kilometer.
right?
That's better because whenever I go into battle royale, sometimes we just walk around for like 8 minutes looking for anyone, and then when you do find somebody, everything goes down in like 30 seconds and it's over.
Well, because it's not just like shooting and finding cover. Like you have abilities that you become you like jump into a ball and you're bouncing around, or you have an ability where you slam up into the air and then you crash down and do damage, or you go invisible, or you teleport up to buildings. You know, it's like you have to like work out the different kits with people, you know, and there's only like 8 guns or so, because you pick up one gun and you want to keep finding that same gun to level that gun up. So the time to kill at first is really slow, and then by the end of the game, because all your guns and your hacks are upgraded, the time to kill is so fast. So it scales really like different. But other than that, we did play Ghosts today,
Cool.
and I love it. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Let's go over to OJ.
Yeah, I just played Ghost, Paper Mario. That's pretty much what I've been playing since those came out. Early in the week, just played my same. I got back into ARMS, so I played ARMS again.
Interesting. I haven't seen ARMS in a long time.
Yeah.
Blow the dust off
been a
that when
while.
you're pulling it out.
It's been. I don't use motion controls.
Disrespect arms, Evan.
Okay.
Don't disrespect arms.
I just
I'll
use the regular
disrespect until
controls.
the end of time, Nate.
I will min smack you.
Man,
Nate, it goes Mario Sunshine Arms. Like,
And
man.
here's the thing with ARMS. Here's the thing, man. We're playing it. People complain about Smash Brothers Online. ARMS Online is so good. It's so smooth and it's so good. And we had great matches. It was a ton of fun.
People online.
No, there's more than 10 people online.
It's like 20.
Arms online.
There's like 30 to 40,
I mean,
dude.
Splatoon's got good online too, so it's like kind of frustrating that Smash, I feel like, is so rough.
So much disrespect to arms.
So much disrespect.
Yeah,
ARMS is
legs are
fun,
better
man. I was playing with the community. I was playing with my community. Had some fun. Which reminds me, Twin Tail should still be in. I still think Twin Tail should be in Smash. She still should be in Smash. But Min Min's cool. But nobody was using Min Min. I mean, nobody was using Min Min in my lobby. We had no Min Mins. But no, Min Min's dope. Min Min's dope. She's cool. Nice. But yeah, got into ARMS, so we played that. I'm still pretty bad at the game, but I like playing it. It's fun. And then we played Mario Kart. We always play like Mario Kart, like always. That game seems like everybody's always playing that game. So,
it's time for Mario Kart 9.
Yeah, it's time for Mario Kart, maybe.
Yep.
It's time.
Yeah, maybe it's time. And then of course I always play Smash.
It's the same shit I say about GTA. I'm like, stop buying it so they can stop buying it.
But
That was
then
an MPD again this past week. That was an MPD top 10 again.
Yeah.
Mario Kart and GTA 5 are always in the top 10 MPD. Like
people always say, when's the new one coming out? And I'm like, fucking stop buying the old one.
No, people are never gonna stop buying because nobody bought on the Wii U. They're like, oh, there's a new Mario Kart game out. This is brand new, right?
I mean, it's still sold well in the Wii U technically, which is crazy, like 8 million or something.
Yeah, 8 million.
And then it comes over here, and it's like, oh, yeah, we'll just sell another 20 million of these. Just
it's 25 million now. That's
crazy.
Yeah, it's teetering on 30.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah,
it's going up. The sales are going up. So
last quarter, the second best-selling game after Animal Crossing was Mario Kart.
And the craziest thing, like on the MPD, like I know we're not talking about that, but MPD, like they don't count the eShop sales yet. Mario Kart is still, it's just physical. So think about that in the pandemic.
Yep,
still physical.
People just go out and they get a Switch, and then they just get Mario Kart.
They're like, I don't give a damn if I get COVID. I'm getting Mario Kart today.
Hey, man, gotta get that Mario.
It's worth it.
To die for the cart.
Let's go over to Sean.
Paper Mario, but besides that, finishing up Metal Gear Solid 4 again.
Oh, you played all the way through it.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
He watched it. Yeah.
First time?
No, God, no. I played it. I played it when it first came out.
Did you stream that? You should have streamed it. I would have freaking been all over that.
I have one of the first PS3s. You can't stream from those.
Of course you can.
You need basically a breaker box.
Yeah, you need extra crap. I'm cheap.
It's easy.
Excuses.
I really made a video where I recorded from it, Sean. Remember I was playing SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you need a breaker box. MVG helped me out with that and gave me the right model and everything. It's like a little $15 box from Amazon or something that you hook up like.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. So, but yeah, that game needs to come to other consoles so badly.
It really does, and I think it still looks good, and all that. But I think it could use a little sharpening and stuff on some areas, and maybe you can make the frame rate a little bit better in some areas. But that game is so. It's amazing to me when people say some games don't need a sequel. Deadly Premonition didn't need a sequel because Deadly Premonition 2 is a piece of shit.
Wait, is that did you say Deadly Premonition 2 frames per second? Is that what you said?
Yeah, pretty much. So disappointed with that game. And I honestly feel like Metal Gear should have died after Metal Gear Solid 4. because it was the perfect ending. Everything came together. You had flashbacks to the original games and all that sort of stuff, and then they made Metal Gear Solid 5. And
Peace Walker, and then kill it. Peace Walker.
Okay, I could give you that.
Yeah, thank you.
You didn't like the ending to Metal Gear Solid 5? The greatest video game ending of all time.
I legitimately hate everything about that game.
Didn't you need the special edition to watch the DVD of the ending that they didn't actually put into it?
Oh my god, yeah.
You hated everything. You even hated the fact that, like, I like just putting the balloons around them and then they just sit there and just shoot up in the sky. That was funny.
It was funny. It was funny, but it was stupid. If Metal Gear Solid 5 had a different name and it wasn't in a part of the Metal Gear lineage, fine. You know, that would have been fine with me. I think it would have been an above average game for that time frame. But putting it up with with games like Metal Gear Solid 3 and Metal Gear Solid 4, you know, having Kiefer Sutherland instead of David Hayter, like right then and there, that was like a death blow to me. It's like the man has when Mickey Mouse's voice character dies, do they go find some motherfucker that sounds nothing like Mickey Mouse? No, they find someone that sounds like Mickey Mouse. Did you play Back to the Future, the Telltale game? They couldn't get Michael J. Fox to do his voice acting, so they got someone who sounded just like him, and it sounded great. You know, it sucked you in. Fuck like getting some stupid Hollywood person to voice over it when you had someone do the voiceover up until that game from what, 1990? When did Metal Gear Solid come out? 98? From 98 up until 2013, 2014, whenever that game came out. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, we're gonna change it to Mr. Hollywood, Kiefer Sutherland. No.
The craziest thing is David Hayter has talked on record. David Hayter has said that he basically works for as cheap as possible. He does voice acting for fun. He's passionate about it. Like, his main job is writing movies and stuff. Like, the voice acting thing to him is not work. It is a passion. So the fact that they decided to probably pay 100 times more to Kiefer Sutherland, it's like, why?
Isn't there a story reason as to why they changed the voice?
Yeah, because
spoilers,
because
the Japanese voice actors are the same.
Yeah, the Japanese voice actor is the same.
No, they changed the voice because like Kojima was like star fucking Hollywood.
This was Kojima's beginning of wanting to get into Hollywood, was the big thing.
And I mean, like, no disrespect to those ambitions, but I'm with you, man. Like, David Hayter is that voice. That is like, anything else felt wrong, and that felt wrong. Like, it felt off. They also didn't even give him anything cool to work with.
We were going to meet him soon too, Sean.
I know.
Yeah. Too many games. He was going to be there as a guest.
I would have brought like all of my.
There was a convention, Too Many Games in OPA. David Hayter was going to be there, so we were gonna meet him there. That'd have been cool, but they had to cancel it.
I'm obsessed with Watchmen. I want him to sign my copy of Watchmen.
Yeah. I was gonna get a soundbite from him or something. So that'd be fun.
He like fucking co-wrote X-Men 2. Like that dude. Yeah, like it's we interviewed him a couple weeks ago during quarantine for the that VR game he's doing, which is basically like it's like a Metal Gear game, but you're stuck in a canoe the whole time, which is amazing.
Interesting.
Metal River 5.
But no, he did Up at Noon with Greg Miller and I when, like, the week that story came out about him getting replaced, and we all got like super day drunk on whiskey and hopped on camera, and it was like a really fun but also kind of angry but kind of sad episode, because we were all just like, what the fuck happened? Like, why did they call you? And he was like, nope. And we're like, what?
They literally ghosted him. It's so shitty.
Yeah, it's so shitty.
Wow.
That's a shame.
And then like Kiefer Sutherland never did another video game voice again, right? It's not like he's like,
geez. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Wow.
He's not even like he's not cleaning up all the games or anything like that. Like, yeah, it's a bummer.
Let's go over to Nate.
Oh, what did I play this week? I played some Donkey Kong Country on the Nintendo Switch Online service. Quality game.
Nice.
Actually got me back. It is a good game. Made me play Tropical Freeze again because that game is perfection.
That is a great game. Yeah. You're 2 for 2 right now, Nate. Nice.
I am. They need to add Donkey Kong 2 to the service next, because that's probably one of the best 2D platformers of all time. Then I played a weird game.
Oh, okay.
It's called Radical Rabbit Stew.
Ape and Eric reviewed that. I saw his review on it.
Do I have to look it up? Radical Rabbit Stew.
You have a big ass spoon and you smack space rabbits into pots.
Radical Rabbit 2.
Stew.
How do you find these games, Nate?
I played this game at
Sorts
PAX East
by
for 2
cheapest.
years in a row.
This game was at PAX East for 2 years.
Wait, this is a sequel?
No, it's no.
Radical
No,
Rabbit
he's
Stew, I
saying
see
he's
it.
saying stew, not
Stew.
I see. Radical Rabbit 2.
Can't hear it past the
I see it.
accent.
Pickle?
I see it. It looks like kind of like an 8-bit style game.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I got gameplay up there. You smack rabbits into a pot to get them back from the evil queen who kidnapped all the chefs in the universe because they made good food and she was eating crappy food.
Sean,
it's good.
You know Nate lucked out, right, Sean? Because a certain game was going to come out on Monday, and we were all going to make him have to look at it and tell us about it today on the podcast.
The don't get caught jacking off game.
I was going to buy that
not
and
going
review
to
it.
play. Don't get caught.
I sure as hell was because
I know Sean.
Wait,
you
what
know why
happened to
that
it?
video would have gotten views.
I have a theory about it. I'd ask around, but I think
What happened to it?
I think it legitimately did accidentally let on the eShop technically. I don't think it was supposed to be on the eShop, and it got let through.
Because wasn't that the official Nintendo's like? Didn't Nintendo have some sort of official thing that we posted it by accident?
Well, the person, the developer had to say it
that.
was accidentally on there, and it's like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. How do you get through the whole verification process?
I think it accidentally got clicked through, Nate. I think it, like, you know, whole situation with COVID. I'm sure they're backed up with approvals and all of this. I have a feeling it might have accidentally.
That game. I can't believe they actually had a trailer of it and everything.
It was all there.
It's
It was.
him like looking at the picture and being like, it's just so that trailer is the worst trailer I've probably ever seen. I was gonna stream it.
Now we know the limits of the eShop. There you go.
Yeah,
I was not going to play that game.
Oh god.
There was no chance in hell of that.
I was gonna
Play
play
not
that
on
game.
not on stream or not on video, but you might have played it in your own personal.
I was going to preload that shit.
No.
Let's go.
Speed Sniper is as low as I'll go.
Oh gosh. Okay. Is that everything, Nate?
Yes.
Okay. We'll move into our topics.
Yeah.
Evan, we
Nate,
got
I was gonna say real quick. I've been super bummed about missing convention season, but you saying that you played a weird ass indie game at PAX and now you're gonna buy it. That's like real talk. I fucking miss that so much.
Mhm.
Like that game, Panzer Paladin's coming out in a few days. And it looks fucking awesome. And I played it at PAX last year, and removing that from the universe, like I feel like it's gonna rob so many great games of exposure that they like so rightfully deserve it.
Especially the indie tier, because like one of the best games at PAX East for the last 2 years was Fogs. I don't know if you played it, the two-headed dog.
I did play it. Yes.
That game is phenomenal.
It's super fun.
And I mean, it got delayed until early next year. But they did put out a demo on Steam. But like, they had an awesome booth. They had the big fog puppet where they were going up to the players and stuff. And they made it so much fun to be at the booth and everything. And not having that experience to play the game and have the developers interacting with you with their goofy character, it is a shame that we're not experiencing that this year, because it sold you on the game because you got to know like the developer a little personally. You got to hear their story of why they made the game, how much passion they're committing to it, and we're losing out.
So Brian, you usually go to PAX East, Brian? Or before?
I do, yeah. I mean, I think I went to every PAX last year. Yes, I literally went to every PAX.
You know what? You go to PAX East, I'll head out there. And
Let's
they'll
do
get
it.
Nate to go. We'll make Nate go and make Jordan go.
What?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Nate, you go every year. There you go. You go every year, Nate. Well, if things are a little bit better whenever PAX East happens again,
right?
We'll look into that.
Yeah.
But I've been actually looking to go to conventions at some point, and then all this happens. So the next time it's all like mostly clear, I'll head out to some conventions, meet up with people.
I mean, we could do the show live at PAX East if it ever returns.
Oh, we talked about that.
Yeah, seriously, we've gone deep into the planning phase of trying to
talked about it.
Look, somebody at one point talked about a grand face reveal of someone coming out of the crowd and
Nate
stuff.
would come out of the crowd, maybe. That would be crazy.
That was our plan.
Yeah.
We would
That
just
was
hire
the
a
plan.
random person to play Nate.
Hey, people in the
That's not a bad idea either.
People in the chat, let us know if you come out to a live Spawncast at a convention.
There's also I think I've had a tab open. This is how much of a fucking procrastinator I am. I've had a tab open in my browser for like a week and a half for submissions for PAX West or PAX Prime, because they're doing online panels this year. So
Oh,
just saying.
Oh, they
There's
want
an
us to do.
option.
They want us to do Spawncast on there.
Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, get even more reach somehow. It makes us look more legitimate.
That's true. And then I can wait for PAX East so I can be a floating head like the Wizard of Oz, and I'm just on a projection screen.
You'll stand up in the crowd, pull the mask off. It'll just be me. It'll be great.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Yeah,
pull the
but
mask off and there's another mask underneath, and he's like, all right, what do you want?
Could do that too. Just another mask and another mask, and then
Actually, you know what?
Probably attack me.
You know what? With the panel live taking questions from the crowd, that could actually be really funny. So yes, I'm there for it. Well, I will. PAX Prime online, that would be cool. But yeah, whenever everything gets back to normal, hopefully, or mostly normal, to the point where we can go out, that's not a bad idea. A live Spawncast would be fun.
Fuck
You
yeah.
should try that. That'd be cool. Yeah,
I've never really
Ryan,
been
jump on the live Spawncast with us if you're there.
I'm in. If it happens,
Oh,
I'm in
nice.
for sure.
All right, there we go.
100%.
There we go. Awesome. Evan, we got a Discord question over there.
Got a bunch of them. Do you think we will get all the 3D Marios on one cartridge as a new game?
Yes.
Yes. Well, hold on. You said all the 3D Marios?
That's
I
what
assume
the
they mean the
question
collection.
is, but I'm guessing, yeah.
No, not,
Okay, then no.
okay, back it up a little bit. Not all of them. I would say
64 Sunshine Galaxy
okay,
on one card.
Okay, fine. Yes, okay. All on one card. I don't think you'll have to download anything if that's what they're asking. I think they'll probably get away with like a 16 gig card without any issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it would need to be that big?
Maybe 8. They might. Well, it depends on anything else they do. But
Depends on the quality of the up-res and new
Yeah.
assets and such. So 16 gig would be a safer bet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I say.
I don't ever see them putting multiple games in one collection like that ever again. When they figured out that they can double, triple, quadruple dip and piecemeal and get people to buy 30, 40, 50
I'll be honest. If they put out something like Mario 64 on its own cart and like made it a big deal, they probably would get 30 or 40 bucks for it.
Yeah, right. I mean, fucking EA was like, "Here's Burnout, 50 bucks."
Yeah.
Like,
I'm a dumb
there's
bitch.
no
I'd do
rules
it.
anymore.
If they did Galaxy, like if they put out Galaxy, I'd be like, yeah, I'll have to buy that. Yep. Like if that was by itself. But like 3 of those games on one cart at $60 is a pretty good deal. That's good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So-
But, like, think about when was the last time they did something like that? I mean,
They did the Mario
Kirby.
collection on the Wii also, right? Where that was their its own
Mario-
anniversary, right? It was like
Mario All-Stars on the Wii was just a ROM dump, just like the Kirby anniversary. They were just
that was
ROM
a-
dumps.
that was like a literal like what $50 ROM dump.
Yeah.
Like it actually people dug into the source code and they found that it wasn't even their ROM.
I remember that. Yeah, they went online to download it or something.
I think somebody dug deeper and thought that it's like it generates a code basically, and they didn't realize that, so they compared it to a code of a ROM. So it turned out that it's just that it was the original creation. But yeah.
That is good to know.
Still pretty lazy for $50.
Oh, I know. Yeah, absolutely. Apparently they just pressed like generate emulator and then took it and sold it.
Well, maybe the good news is I guess you won't have to wait too much longer for that 3D collection then, since it's already July and they haven't even announced it yet.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like a Paper Mario situation where they'd announce it and then it'd come out in like September or something.
I would be into that.
Potentially.
Yeah. So
They just need to
whenever
announce
dates are
something.
there, potentially it's like
Just
okay.
games, baby. I feel so weird. I feel like whenever I do live streams now, I feel like so many of the questions are just, is Nintendo still there? Like, is Nintendo
I mean,
doing...
technically they don't have anything dated anymore going forward, or even like I think it's coming out this year, kind of. Well, I'm sorry, we have Bakugan. We can't do it.
Oh, shut the
No Bakugan disrespect over here.
Well, you guys remember when
Don't disrespect the
when they
god.
put out that like GameCube collector's disc of Zelda games?
Mhm.
Yep.
And there was one that was like they did 2 different versions, right?
They did the master. Well, they did. Yes, they did.
Yeah, they did
one that was just
Ocarina, and then they had
Master Quest.
Mm-hmm.
and then they had the one with Link to the Past, Ocarina,
Did Max just leave?
Yours Mask, and I think the NES for
And the
Zelda.
NES.
It's the problem of his games being farther away from his chairs.
Here we go.
There it is.
Oh, you got him.
Yes, faster, baby. Nope, I got it.
Wait, I can participate.
I got both of them. Let's go.
Me too.
So did I. Grabbed all 4 GameCube games.
I
you piece of shit.
participate.
Look at that.
You piece of shit.
I think everyone here probably has those now.
There's Wind Waker.
Well, I got mine for
don't.
$7.
Yeah, I do.
I think I definitely win because I got mine for $7. I kept the receipt.
The receipts in there.
I
keep the receipts in the games.
mine. Yeah, I think like Nate actually has Fire Emblem. I'll give you that, Nate. That's a good one to have.
I
I do
got
have Fire Emblem.
That's a
I
good
got
one,
Fire
though.
Emblem. Mine's just a disc, but I got it for free. I bought. I think when I bought a copy of
Complete.
Melee, it was just loose in the box.
You need to get on that.
Complete inbox.
You need to get on that Gotcha Force level, though, Nate.
I got Twin Snakes and Skies of Arcadia.
I have those.
Yeah, well, you had to buy them now. I only spent 50 bucks
did.
on them 20 years
I
ago.
did.
I
I'm
got
looking.
Gotcha Force.
Yo, I'm looking for a super rare GameCube game right now, and I almost pulled the trigger on it the other day.
Which
so.
one?
I got people in the chat now
Gotcha
doubting that
Force.
I
Fire
can't.
Emblem.
I can't put it. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to put it out there because it might be a
Do
big
not.
surprise.
Do not.
for-
If you do, it's you're gonna fuck yourself, dude. Do not. Do
I
it.
know what you're looking for.
It might come in a box, is what we'll say.
This one.
Is it a system?
Oh,
No, Jordan knows what I'm.
For this.
Obviously,
is it a
steal the
Pokemon
cow.
I know exactly.
It might be in a Pokemon box.
I know
Oh,
exactly
that
what
is
you're looking
amazing.
for, and that's ridiculous because
It's
it's.
my
Nice
baby.
work.
I did.
Baby.
Are you gonna stream that?
I'll make a video on it.
Yeah,
I did. I just opened.
I guess
I make
it's
a video
audio.
for my GameCube collection all the time because it's fun and I'm trying to actually build it. So
I wonder what pop songs Mario was dancing to.
I
back
did.
then.
I did build that Starlight GameCube system, Starlight Gold, the one that was only in Toys R Us. It's like,
Talking about Mario DDR.
oh yeah. Evan, we got another Discord question.
Do you think Microsoft? Oh God, Sean's got Mario DDR.
Either that or a big
Do you think
sandwich.
Microsoft would have more success with Banjo Redooey or a Banjo Nui? So either a remaster or
Oh
a
my
brand new
God.
one.
I like
that
that
game.
question.
I like
Redooey would
Banjo
do better.
Redooey.
They might as well just make a new one because they already took the first two and they play great on the Xbox right now.
yeah.
Oh, that's true.
In fact, Banjo, I swear Banjo Tooie might even have some work done in the tech. Like it looks a lot better. Banjo Tooie does. So I think you might as well just make a new one if they're going to really go for it. And don't make us we have to build cars and drive around because that was dumb.
I think a third one. Well, and also I think the success of what the hell was ukulele? I think
Twins!
ukulele's success has like paved the way for a new banjo.
Yeah,
I want to see you bust a move on that.
I love
Sean.
that the top of it
nice
looks
work.
like it's kind of ruined-ish, so it's like he pulls it out a lot so you can play it.
No, I have my my boxed Pog collection and my Steve Urkel on top of it.
Wait, you mean the
I can
Pogs,
tell that's
like the
real.
arena thing?
Yeah, I've shown you that.
Oh yeah, you did send a picture. I have that in storage still with some.
Yeah, official Pog stuff.
Yeah, that's right. With a caveman guy.
Official
Like Steve Urkel.
This is what adults do with their money.
Oh yeah, the Steve Urkel. Oh no, the Steve Urkel. Okay, so the Steve Urkel, I didn't buy that. When I was a kid, I had a Steve Urkel doll that had a drawstring and it would do like
The
it
puppet
would
one,
say
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
Did
So
I do that?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
it's
got
like-
really sick and like threw up like all over my bed and all over the Steve Urkel doll, and my mom threw it away. And I always resented her for that, for throwing that away. And then when I had back a couple years ago when I had a PO box, one day I got a package and all it said was from your biggest fan, and I was like, who the fuck is this? And I opened it up and it was from my mom, and it was the boxed Steve Urkel doll, and she said sorry for throwing it away.
That's nice.
Amazing.
It's a nice heartfelt story.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
P.O. box.
You get those once in a while from
Yeah.
I did a bunch of cocaine with the doll.
It's cool.
I've been throwing an idea for like a podcast into the ether forever, and I just want someone to take it. I don't want to do it myself personally, but it's a Family Matters podcast that goes through episode by episode, and it's called "Oops, Did I View That?"
Oh, that's good.
That's it. That's the pitch, and you just do a breakdown of every episode, comedically, stupidly.
Well, there's
honestly,
you got that one episode though.
I know
The one at the locker with the locker.
it gets dark.
It
But
gets
then
dark.
There's lighthearted stuff too, like when Steve Urkel took a rocket ship to Step by Step.
Well, see, that's part of the
he flew to a
problem.
different show.
They got kind of like remember when Eddie remember when what was that dude's name?
I like the cloning machine episode.
Who is that Laura wasn't dating? Oh, what the fuck was that guy's name?
We're piloting the show.
Ted, I believe his
Yeah,
name.
this is it. This
So
is
Laura,
episode one.
so Ted was trying to like get up with Laura, and Laura was like, "No, I'm not doing that." But like Ted went and told his boys that he smashed or whatever, and then Eddie like fucking like threw him up against the locker and was like ready to kick his ass. That was a good fucking episode.
That was a great episode. Yeah,
Eddie wasn't
man.
playing
needed
around.
to, really.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can enjoy conversations like that and more. If anybody ever takes me up on the offer, it's yours. Run away with it.
Oh man, Evan, we have another Discord question over there.
Do you think Nintendo and/or Sony will try to up their subscription service game to try to equate to Microsoft's Game Pass and xCloud combo?
Oh, Nate, Let them know.
Oh, boy.
Let them know, Nate. Call it.
I mean,
You know you
Sony
want
is
to.
that PlayStation Now, and Nintendo simply isn't that advanced when it comes to that type of technology. So they're best leaning on a company like Microsoft to give them a service like Game Pass in the future.
Well, what about like Xbox Live Gold and all that, Nate? You saw they took away that 12-month option.
They did take away the 12-month option. And
why
it
would
was
they do that?
Maybe we'll find out this week. We might not, but I'm sure we'll find out.
I don't think we will this week,
future.
but I
this
think in the near future, maybe August or September.
Yes. August would be a fine time because they're supposed to talk a little more about hardware and services. Then this week is just software, but we'll find out soon.
That could be really funny. Okay,
Johnny also threw in at the end of that. What is your favorite TV show? Psych.
Why is it Psych?
Yeah,
because the chemistry between the two main characters is phenomenal.
It is amazing.
And yes, I would say so. I would say some of the writing at times is really good in that show.
I know Family Matters, but I mean,
it is good. They just came out with the new movie. Evan, you let me know about that.
Yeah, that was trending
out,
yesterday. I was so happy.
Yes, came out 2-3 days ago. I'm gonna watch it probably tomorrow. But yes, I like Psych quite a bit. Is it still on Netflix?
I don't know. I'd have to double check.
Yeah, it was on
Amazon Prime. I used to, before I got married, there was this girl I would talk to in Tinder, and we would watch that. It's
a very good show. It is very good. I think there's a bunch of seasons.
This is OJ lore.
It is very good.
we watched a ton of episodes. That's what I remember.
The real question should have been if it wasn't, why isn't it your favorite show? Because it's that good.
Because Breaking Bad is a thing. That's why it's not a show. Because Breaking Bad is a thing.
And The Sopranos is a thing.
The Wire.
Ain't no hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Oh,
Game of Thrones seasons 1-3 and nothing else.
Breaking Bad is every season of Breaking Bad is good. Every episode is good. Breaking Bad's the greatest show ever.
Yeah,
it gets better and better. It's not Sopranos. It falls short because the ending was trash, and we all know that.
What? That was the brilliant ending.
The ending was
brilliant
trash.
ending.
X-Men, the animated series.
Oh, gosh.
That has the greatest introduction of all
Evan,
time.
we have another Discord question over there, Evan.
To anyone with a VR headset, what is your favorite genre of game to play on it?
Horror.
Yeah. Well, no. I like.
Yeah, you like Fast RMX, so racing.
I like the racing or the flight sim games. I think those do really well. I think Gran Turismo has been. I didn't play Iron Man VR, but I liked the racing games are cool because the first time I used the headset, you get it was Gran Turismo, I think, but you look around and it's like you're in the car. It was really cool. I don't know. I think that was a good way, but like horror makes sense because you can just terrify people and they can't get the helmet off, so it's funny.
Beat Saber is great too.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. But I can't say that as a genre because I feel like Beat Saber is the only
it
really
would be a rhythm
full
game, but I
Actual
think
rhythm
that's
games.
maybe one of the only ones.
I'm saying that's the only rhythm game I've experienced on there. It was great, but I haven't.
You didn't play Thumper in VR?
No,
I love Thumper.
Oh man,
It
Thumper
seems
in
like it would
VR.
overwhelm me a little bit.
It's so good.
Let's go over to Paper Mario. Sean, do you have to leave now?
Yes, I do, but I will give you my Paper Mario thoughts, even though a video is going up tomorrow.
Okay, go ahead.
Paper Mario, Origami King.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all be hating. We getting rings.
Ooh, rings.
Get the fuck it.
Go on.
Go to your hooker.
That's it. No, that's it. Someone I know did a Paper Mario Color Splash review in that same style. So I am emulating that style for my review, and that'll be my review. It'll be 10 minutes and 1 second long of me just saying that over and over and over again for 10 minutes and 1 second.
Okay.
No, Paper Mario: The Origami King. People are shitting. Too Long Didn't Read version. People are shitting on it because they wanted it to be Paper Mario: A Thousand Year Door Part 2, and it's not that. I have played the game. I'm almost done with it. And I really have enjoyed it. There's been a few things I didn't care for, but for the most part, the graphics are great. The writing is great. I think the story is actually pretty interesting. There's actually one twist in the story that's actually pretty dark and something that you don't really see Nintendo ever touch on, especially in a Mario game, that I thought was really interesting. The combat can be definitely hit or miss for some people. It's more of a puzzle-based combat than it is your standard action RPG, but I think it's definitely serviceable. I don't like some of the puzzles in the game, and I didn't like It felt like the battles were kind of pointless unless it was a specific battle to get like an item or a toad unlock or something, because you don't gain experience points to that. I'll get deeper into that stuff tomorrow. But overall, if I were to score the game, which I don't score the game, so I'll go ahead and give this away, I would say it's an 8.5. Really enjoyable. Yeah, it's a really enjoyable game. I liked a lot of stuff about it.
Okay. Fair enough.
With that, I bid you all farewell. Have a great night. Watch my eShop video, and yeah, I'll see y'all later.
See you, Sean. What everyone think of Paper Mario?
I beat it. I reviewed it. I gave it a 7. I think he's right that the story, the art is the best thing. The humor is amazing. And I was actually super impressed by the fact that they overwhelm you with jokes. Like every single character, like 99% of the dialogue is puns and silliness and wackiness that all fits in universe. Like I stumbled upon a bar and there's characters having almost like a Koopa political debate as to which Bowser minion is worthy of finally defeating Mario. And they're having this debate with Mario. Like the whole game is just so funny. The combat sucks.
Oh, you didn't like the puzzle mechanic?
No, and I hated that they were puzzles. My problem was, because I beat it, I finished the whole freaking game. My problem was that you don't win fights, you solve fights. And after a while, once you start to like crack the code of it, it just feels like every time I got into a fight, I would just like it was like opening up a safe. It's just turn the couple knobs and then it opens. Turn the couple knobs, then it opens. I would win about 95% of my fights without being touched. So I ended up with like 30,000 gold coins and nothing to even spend it on.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still pretty early on in the game, and I'll be honest, because I was playing Paper Mario, right? And I'm like 4 or 5 hours in, I think. And I know it's a longer game, but I would be playing Paper Mario, and I'd be like, I kind of want to play Ghost right now.
Yeah.
I'll just be honest right now. If they both didn't come out at the same time, I would have just been playing Paper Mario the whole time. Like, okay, that's fine. But for when I was playing Paper Mario, the initial impression was the game, I think, looks really good. I think visually, like colors pop off the screen and everything. I think it looks really, really good. Some of the writing I've seen so far is funny. It's hilarious. And they have, a lot of jokes in there, some dad jokes for the most part, but it's a good time. And I will say the combat, I get what you're saying, Max, because it is very much puzzle oriented. But for the most part, from what I've seen, because I still working through to where like you get to the boss and everything, the first one. It's okay. I don't know. The whole game is just okay. I will admit I was one of the people who was like, I hope this is like just an RPG, because it'd be, I think personally a bit more enjoyable, but I get that's not what they're going for. They want an adventure game. And I will give them credit. They are trying something different. Like I would have never thought, oh, okay, this is going to be a puzzle game with the battle mechanics. That is at least different enough to where I'm like, okay, this is a unique game. But I don't know. I just feel like there's some part of it missing, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the battle system being a little deeper so far from what I've seen. But I mean, you beat the game. How much does it get any deeper in terms of like mechanics that are going on? Or
yes, in that they add in the special items, end up having certain purposes. Like at one point you start going against these ninjas, and if you try and use melee, if you try and hammer the ninjas, they can teleport behind you and do 1 damage. They basically do like the ninja log thing from Naruto. There's spiked enemies that you have to be wearing metal shoes for. It gets a little bit deeper. Okay. The thing is that every boss has a big trick. And what's kind of cool but also kind of annoying at times is you can only beat them with that trick. Like at one point I was going against a boss that's like a giant rubber band, and you need to go up and like flick the rubber band to hurt him. Basically I discovered that he's weak to fire. I could do like 8 million fire damage. It automatically stops him at 1 health and just fully recharges his bar and tells you, oh, you didn't flick him. It's like he's dead. I don't know, the game wants you to play it one way, and I don't like games that are like you play it the one way.
Okay. Right. What'd you think, Brian?
I'm kind of inclined to agree with you guys. I think that like this has been an interesting franchise because I feel like we've been expecting it to consistently revisit not only its initial roots, but its roots before that, which is Super Mario RPG. And it's never really reached that status. I think this one's gotten a little bit closer, but I'm totally with you both in that like it's not fully there yet. And this is an interesting generation for Nintendo, because when you look at stuff like Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, that set the cadence for where things were going. And admittedly, that maybe have put the bar too high, where we thought that the expectation was that every new entry in a beloved, long-standing franchise would be this generational leap and this gigantic new thing, and reinventing the wheel, and evolving it to service both hardcore fans and new people. And this just feels like a pretty good Paper Mario game, which is kind of Kirby's job,
Yeah.
Nice.
That's kind of like when you want like a little bit of comfort food, but you don't want
it's
it to
just
be
fine.
not too spicy, not too scary, but it does what it needs to do. Good for you. But for this game, I did kind of want a little more, and I'm with both. I'm with both of you in that, like, playing this alongside Ghost was definitely a little bit of whiplash, because one of them I was completely in love with, and the other one I was like, this is good technically, and the writing is great, and it's beautiful, but it's not completely hooking me. And I kept pushing forward, hoping it would, and I'll continue to. I definitely will finish it, absolutely. But yeah, it's not this big new reinvention of the franchise, and it's not something that has completely wholly grabbed me. But I'm glad we have a new Paper Mario, but I did want more.
I like the world itself.
Yes.
I really like that part. Like, that's the part, like, if I look at everything about the game, I'm like, all right, the world is fun to explore, because they have their own little puzzles in the world to like in the beginning, you're walking around trying to figure out how to get to a certain window, and it turns out you got to hit the dresser in front of you with a hammer, and it kicks one of the drawers open. It's like, okay, that's fun, right? And you walk around, you find toads that are stuck in the ground, or they're behind something, and you're like, you realize there's a lot of like secrets really to find in the world, and that part I think is more fun than going through some of the battle system, to be honest. And that's fine, because they want it to be an adventure game. So like in that sense, they have accomplished what they wanted, I guess. But then it starts, for me anyway, to feel like the battle system is almost in the way of what I want to do in the game, kind of. Like, I feel like, all right, so in the beginning, I have those Goombas that walk around with like the paper mache and everything, and all you have to do to beat them, you have to hit them with the hammer several times, right? At this point with Paper Mario, I almost want them to just make it an action adventure RPG.
That
I don't even have to go to battle.
That is actually one of the Discord questions. Do you think the game series would, benefit from an action?
I think the way that the world's built, the writing, I think all of that is top notch. And if they just leaned into that aspect a bit more, like almost like a Secret of Mana, kind of.
Well,
yeah,
so
I'd be okay with that.
I'll tell you something weird about it. So as you get, basically it'll just randomly make you stronger as you're progressing through the game. You'll beat a mini boss or something, and you get stronger. As you get to the end of each zone, you can start to skip random battles. You know how you kill those paper mache Goombas? You start being able to do that to fights. If you hit a Goomba, it won't have the fight. It'll just give you the money, and you get to walk away. And so it's weird, and it keeps happening throughout the game. So it's really bizarre that after a while, like, the reward of the game is less gameplay. I feel like even the designers realize, like, this is slowing things down.
Right.
I think that'd be cool, because I like the world a lot. I think it's fun. I think some of the super creative with some of the stuff they're doing with the paper and the origami. Did you hear that they had to actually take the characters and they made them like in real life, like origami, folded them up to make sure that they had the character models correct?
You can tell.
That's awesome.
You can tell.
It's Absolutely. So cool. What'd you think about the game, OJ, so far? You I assume have played probably about as much as I have at this point, because it just came out Friday and we picked it up.
It just came out, so I played Ghost a bit more, so I have a little bit more of a grasp on that. I guess, I like RPGs, and Paper Mario, everyone wants to turn back into that, but I never thought the old school Paper Mario RPGs were these amazing things. I thought Chrono Trigger, and I thought like Secret of Mana, and I thought all the RPGs that were coming out back then, like around the time of these games, like Skies of Arcadia. I was like, dude, these are way better RPGs than Paper Mario's ever been. Paper Mario's always been an easy, very easy, like there's experience, but it's not like you have to grind. It's not like you have to do it. It's just there.
Sure.
And so it's never been like this hardcore RPG that I need to have, like, oh my gosh, this is such a great RPG mechanic. It's never been that to me. I thought even like Super Mario RPG was better RPG mechanics, because like you have a full party. You have Princess Peach, you've got Bowser, you've got Geno, you've got Mallow. I mean, I thought, and that was only to level 30, that game. And that's even like kind of easy, with the exception of a couple special bosses in that game. So I've
There are
never
a couple
felt
bosses that are a little.
yeah, there are a couple that Final Fantasy boss, that thing kicked my butt back in the day.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a couple places where it is a little bit harder. You got to have some strategy. But for the most part, I've never felt that the Paper Mario games, like when they were RPGs, were that. Going into this one, I don't like the color splash. I tried them, didn't really like those games, Sticker Star and all that. So kind of went into this just like saying, no, we'll see how it is. I like the combat. I thought the combat was pretty cool. It's different. It's something kind of different from what they've done before. So I'm not too far in, and I mean, it could get stale, but so far I'm enjoying it. I don't think it's bad. I think the writing is hilarious. Mario will be getting roasted all the time. Like Mario's getting roasted constantly by trees, the minions.
I saw that one kind of dig at Breath of the Wild that somebody posted online.
Yeah.
Like at least it's not raining. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they're getting. I mean, they're roasting Mario all over the place. The elements within the Mario universe, so it's funny. It's really funny. The Treehouse dudes must be like just sitting there thinking of jokes and stuff like that. But like you said, it's kind of like dad humor and things. But it's cool. I'm enjoying it. I don't know where it's gonna end up. I might like the combat more or less, but so far it seems pretty cool, man. I'm enjoying it.
You know what's really weird about Paper Mario? Part of that interview where they talked about how they made the characters out of origami so that the character models looked correct. Further down, Tanabe did talk about how they aren't allowed now to take characters from the Mario universe and change and alter them for Paper Mario anymore, which is really weird. Isn't that strange?
Yeah, I just didn't care. I just like I saw it. I was just like, okay.
But that seems really weird. Like I don't. That seems kind of almost overprotective. I don't know.
From what I've heard about that side of things at Nintendo is that there's like a literal sort of style Bible in terms of what can be said or done with specific characters and conflicts and stuff like that, and who, like, what you can name a specific character, where they can be, what they can do. And that's kind of a bummer because I think it's antithetical to the sort of conceptualization of them being a bunch of interconnected characters in a fictitious stage play.
You know what's weird? Is they said Sticker Star was when it started.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like, Sticker Star is when that started up, and I'm like, that's strange. I don't know why that feels like that would make it even a little more obviously more difficult to do a lot of that stuff. So, and it's weird because Paper Mario hits like every Nintendo home console since the N64. So obviously they keep it going. It just seemed a little strange to me that it started kind of recently that they were doing that. So I don't know.
Maybe it's a temporary thing and we're just not getting that meaning out of it of like, while we're reinventing other stuff on the Switch and making Metroid Prime 4, maybe it just means like we want Mario to be Mario while we finish things up, because who knows how final it is. But the statement on its own, like I'm with you, Spawnwave, it just sounds weird. Like it's like, what?
Yeah. But I mean, we'll say, like I said, for now, Paper Mario, I would say I'm going to say it's an average to slightly above average game for me so far, but I'll play it more. Apparently it's 25 to 30 hours. So I'll get through. Miss Click, you said you didn't even get a chance to touch it yet. So
I've like kind of been tuning out a little bit so I don't get completely spoiled.
Okay. Well, how about this? Ghost Tsushima.
Yes, I beat that as well.
That.
Oh, it's so good.
Talk about that. All right, because it's good. It's really good.
I think I put 50, 60 hours into this game.
Oh, nice. All right, good. I'm excited that it's that. I'm actually excited that it like that much time can be put into it.
I mean, I saw your tweet earlier about it basically like it doesn't want you to do the main quest.
I'm trying. I'm really trying, but this fox, it's like, hey, look over here. I'm like,
right. I
mean, it's a fox, you know? Like,
and I was 100%. I was bit by the same bug basically in this game. Like this was a game that it like actively implored me to discover it on my own terms, on my own time, and find why I loved it. And it actually took a little while, like to be completely frank. And like I'll tell you guys this: the first 3-4 hours of this game, I was not in love with it. I felt like, especially, I had come directly off of The Last of Us 2, which I think, like, you know, there's obviously a lot of debates about that game, but quality wise, animation wise,
super high quality.
Yeah, it's just unmatched, I would say. And there was a little bit of whiplash for me to go directly from that to another PlayStation exclusive in Ghost of Tsushima. And I feel like the first few hours were a little handholdy, and they introduce all these mechanics that you don't necessarily end up using a lot. But then it kind of like takes the chains off, and you are free in this world, and it is like some of the most beautiful and incredible open world gameplay I've ever experienced.
The game looks insane. If you have an HDR TV or monitor and you turn HDR on, it's a little jarring at first because like the contrast on it is super high. So like the dark areas like look really dark, and then you have like the light coming in, so parts of the grass around that shine really bright. But it looks super impressive in motion.
Yeah, this was like a close all the curtains kind of game for me. Bump up the contrast. Like I went into the settings a lot and messed with like individual things to make sure this game really popped. But man, like, and I like the first few hours I wasn't into the combat. I was like, there's no lock on. Like the lock
on's still a little weird for me, I'll admit.
Yeah, and so I will say that like it will almost certainly grow on you. Like that part of it, like it definitely is a little jarring, like even up until the end, to not be able to just click directly on where you want to go in terms of like fighting your next opponent. But you eventually unlock these 4 stances that correlate with these 4 different sort of archetypes of character in the game. And they're like shield guys and spear guys and sword guys, and then like just big fuckers. And you kind of just click between the 4 of them, and it just gets super fun. Like the sort of dynamic range that you have between handling them and then bullet timing and pulling out your bow and arrow to knock out some dude who's kind of far. I love it. Like I feel like the dichotomy between this just crazy bloody chaos and this gorgeous sort of pacifistic open world of just quiet, serene foxes and rivers and streams is fucking unmatched. Like it's really, really nuts. Like to get that balance it's crazy.
I like some of the ways they try to guide you in the world now too. They don't. So they use the wind, right? That was one. But then you're like walking along, and this gold bird will fly by, and you're like, well, I'm gonna go follow that. And what's funny is one time I was running after it, and it led me off a cliff, and I just ran straight off the cliff. Right? So I hit the ground. Like 3/4 of my life is gone. But
you didn't use the horse, because apparently the horse will take it, and then you'll just fall off the horse, get up, and then get back on your horse and ride off.
Dude, the best secret in this game is that you like the horse is unkillable. So if you want to get down from a really high ledge, you sort of temporarily just sacrifice your horse.
It's violent as hell looking, but it'll get back up.
Every time they face plant the same way, you face plant and the horse just gets up and
he just goes like, and then you get up, and then he just
I'll remember that.
off. You get back.
The legs all like come back together.
Oh, man.
All the joints locking back in.
Oh man, that's good.
So I gotta try that now.
You just gotta roll around in the dirt a bunch before a fight too, so all the cutscenes are you just covered in mud.
So
yeah.
So Jordan. Oh, go ahead, Max. Sorry.
I was gonna say I got caught on fire today for the first time during a boss fight, and I killed somebody, and then it ended the cutscene of me being like, "You mess with me, you mess with the ghost," and I was fully engulfed in flames. So I actually screenshotted it, and it's the most terrifying thing. It's just me casually on fire, just like, what? I'm the ghost.
So you're Ghost Rider at that point.
There's really funny moments where things collide like that in this game, and I don't think it ever goes like full sort of Far Cry in terms of like chaotic interlocking systems, like bears and fire, and there's a little bit of that, like there's beehives and there's oil drums and stuff, even though it's like it takes place 1,000 years ago. It is a video game. But there was
perfectly placed like around all the
it's such a like peaceful, serene game, but there was this one moment where I found a hot spring. And I sat down in it, and it was like, do you want to meditate about like lost love or your uncle, or what? You just pick a button and he like starts meditating. So I'm just like, I'm going to meditate about like lost love. And I'm sitting there, and he's just like, things have been so hard since my beautiful blah, blah, blah disappeared. But in the exact same moment, like this, like camp of Mongol swordsmen ran up, and they started shooting arrows at me. And I'm just sitting butt naked in this like spa. And they're just like, the cutscene keeps going and it doesn't stop, and you just see all these arrows hitting me, and blood is shooting out of it. And he was just like, "It has been so long since I have loved, but hopefully I will love again." And it's just blood
symbolic.
Everywhere. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
I streamed it some today, and at one point there was this little teeny tiny, like a little bridge built up the side of a mountain, and I decided I was going to ride my horse up it. So I'm on this little tiny, like probably 12-inch wide thing, and I'm trying to tiptoe up the side of this mountain. And for some reason, I pressed dismount, and I jump off, and I just start falling off the side of the mountain. I'm like, no! And I landed in a hot spring. So it started a cutscene being like, yeah. And this lady's like, anytime you're hurt, come back. And I'm like, bro, I'm dead. Why?
Jordan, you're pretty on board with Ghost pretty early on, right?
Yeah, I've been backing this guy. I love Sucker Punch, and this is something I've been looking forward to since the day they've announced it. And every time they've shown it off has gotten me more excited. And come to find out, it blends a lot of stuff that I already really like together, and everything kind of works in harmony for me. For this game, this really feels like, I know it's not going to be everyone's. I know for a lot of people, it's definitely like The Last of Us could be like their swan song for the PlayStation. But like this, for me, is like the last goodbye, this big, gigantic open world game. And I know I'm going to get some of these comments. How dare you compare this? But this game, to me, is PlayStation's Breath of the Wild mixed with Assassin's Creed. It's this minimalist open world, do what you want, not really like a HUD system. It's just a gorgeous land that you can explore with the combat of early on Assassin's Creed, with some in-depth combat if you really want to get into it, or you could just, hit square and triangle a lot if you really want to. There's a lot of really cool stuff in the game. Again, I'm playing the story, but as I'm just walking along, like I've already done one of the mythic quests early on because I just stumbled across it. And it was like, hey, you want to hear a story? And I'm like, yeah, I'll hear a story. And that took me on a whole quest, or I followed a fox, it brought me to a shrine, or I randomly ended up on the top of the tallest, mountain at one point. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I found this hidden shrine up here early. It's just beautiful. It's really well done. Some awesome cutscenes. I will say though, if you're on visual mode rather than performance, some of the cutscenes definitely do chug pretty low in frame rate a couple times. Other than that, like the game's been solid for me. I think the controls are fine. I can take or leave a lock-on system. I like that it's just kind of whichever way you direct the stick, and it's pretty accurate for the most part.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say my favorite thing is just one of the things I unlocked early on. One of the ghost weapons was when I found out there was a sticky bomb.
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay, I got kunai. What else can I? A sticky bomb, and it showed the animation. I was like, oh, this is Halo. And then you play the game, you just throw it. And, I'm like, oh, this is great. This is so much fun. It's just pure joy. I actually just am in love with the game so far.
There is something else that I'll point out that I'm not a huge fan of is the climbing, I guess. It's limiting because there are times where I'll walk up and I'll be like, oh, I'm just going to climb this, get to the top. And it's like, wait, no, hold on. The correctly colored ledges in the exact spots are not there. So you can't do that. Walk around until you find.
That's like Horizon.
Yeah,
Horizon was like that after playing Breath of the Wild.
That was something where I'm like, oh, I did the same thing too. And the climbing animation looks a little funny. Like it makes you appreciate how like the strides that Ubisoft has made with Assassin's Creed and its climbing, where like we're at the point now where Assassin's Creed, it looks like everything is figured out to where it looks like you're actually like your character means to be doing everything they're doing when they're climbing, whereas Ghost looks a little funny sometimes when you're jumping up the ledges, and it's like, I don't know, it looks like first generation Assassin's Creed almost for climbing.
It does
weird thing.
It feels like it's missing like keyframes
when you're
between
when you're moving around and like jumping from like quickly get to a rooftop and jump to another rooftop to get down. It kind of adds itself for you. Like, okay, it knows you're going to go here, so it already predicts it mid jump and it puts you there, which is, it's interesting. It would sound like it feels like discombobulated, but it just works, right? In the midst of a huge battle, I walked into one of the camps, right? On accident early on in the game. I had nothing. Like, this is just the start of the game. All these high level enemies are just like, we're all gonna gang up on you and kill you. And there's like 40 of them. I'm by myself with only my sword. I haven't learned anything. But the amount of like traversal and tactics you can employ like in that moment is just it's exciting. So far the story for me is okay, I guess. Just the overarching idea, right? It's like, okay, guys, come take your island, you got to try to get it back and all this, right? But the thing I really like about it is the struggle with the main character and the honor that they're trying to hold up, but then everyone around them is just cheating basically, and they're like, we're not playing by the rules. So like when you break your honor system, I don't want to okay, it's earlier on, but when you like break your honor system, there's like a flashback to like your uncle at the time was like, you know, we don't
why it's important to you.
We don't sneak up on people, right?
That keeps happening, dude. Throughout the whole game, it'll happen every 20. Well, not even a thing, but like every 20 or 30 times. Like it's like they address your honor a lot, and I love that about it. Like there's an interesting like duality of it, of like as you embrace becoming the ghost or choose not to be the ghost. I like that it's not just talent trees; it's in the story.
I like that a lot, that part. I think that's more interesting to me than the overall story for me anyway. The story, just that him having to do basically what he has to do to and hoping that at the end the ends justify the means basically to get there. So I like that part of it.
Now that we're out of the spoiler zone, how did you guys feel about like the machine guns? I thought they were like
when they went forward in time to get him.
It's a little bit weird. I mean, the fact that they actually said "let's get in the Animus" felt a little bit copyright infringement.
Yeah. When the aliens came down during the second arc of the game,
X-Men crossover,
you're like wielding machine guns to fight them, which I thought was like
in the first 20 minutes though. Wasn't it funny when he goes down, tries to have a standoff, and the guy's just like just throws like just wine on him, lights him on fire.
That was hilarious. But you know what? I've been playing this game, man. I put a lot of hours into it, and like it's what I personally think. Jordan said Assassin's Creed and Breath of the Wild. I think only aesthetically Breath of the Wild. I think that's why PC was going crazy. So in fact, it's just aesthetically. Gameplay wise, there's almost nothing alike. There's some general similarities.
Yeah, it plays like Assassin's Creed, but it has the allure of Breath of the Wild. This open world that's really minimalist, quiet, or super action. You can do whatever you want in any order you want. And
just gameplay wise though, it just feels to me like Assassin's Creed done right. Like Assassin's Creed games, it feels like a much better version of Assassin's Creed, but you have these big grass openings like Breath of the Wild, but like you guys even said, like the climbing is wonky as hell. Like you can't cut anything. You can't cut any trees, you can't cut bamboo, you can't cut anything in the world. It's kind of just all kind of
it's a better Assassin's Creed than older traditional Assassin's Creed. I think with the last two and with Valhalla coming up, they really changed a lot to make those very different from old Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, like, I played all the older Assassin's Creed games, and I was like, I don't know why I keep playing these games, but I'm playing them. But I played a lot of them, and I just feel like they really find what Assassin's Creed did and made that really good. It makes you want to keep pushing and playing, to get better. I like the skill tree stuff. All that stuff's really cool. The combat is a little weird. I mean, I like Z targeting, and I think they should have used Z targeting. I don't like the fact that it's just kind of free form, because like the camera sometimes can get a little hung up on things. So I think they should have used Z targeting. I think that was a mistake. Personally, for me, I think they should have made it to where there's a lock on or optional. Make it to where you can lock on or you can't. But you get used to it. You'll get used to the combat in the game, and you'll start getting a bunch of different abilities that are really dope. I love being able the stealth in the game. I mean, it's cool, but dude, they're really dumb. Like you can just sneak on them real quick. I mean, compared to The Last of Us has much better AI with sneaking around and everything. So that was a little hit or miss, but I mean, it's still fun. Like at the end of the day, it's still fun to assassinate people, but they're pretty stupid. They don't hear stuff. Even like you can assassinate somebody right there. You get skills to where you can assassinate 2 people at a time, or even up to 3 people, which is really cool. So I enjoy it, but there's some issues here and there. I like it. I think it's a solid game. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'll probably beat it at some point. I'll probably go through and beat it. I can't find myself to beat Assassin's Creed games. Like I'll play them. I'll play them for like 10 hours or 6 or 7, and then I'll just be like, all right, I'm done. But this one, I know I'm going to play a lot more and probably beat it. So I'm enjoying it. I think it's good.
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it. I think it feels like a sort of like vintage sequel to the alternate dimension timeline of Assassin's Creed games before they split off into where they are now. But without any of the Animus bullshit, which I literally hated from day one. Like I think the first time that was revealed, I was like, oh, that's pretty clever. But then they kept doubling and tripling and quadrupling down on it, and I was like, hey, I don't. The
real hero is Desmond Miles. Like, okay, we get it.
Yeah, and I also want to say too, I think the theme is just much cooler than any. It's Japan, it's samurais. That's just much cooler than anything. Everyone's been asking Assassin's Creed, when are you going to go to Japan? When are you going to go? Well, Ghost of Tsushima did it. They did it already.
Yeah.
So it's like
Assassin's Creed has to go there now, though.
Yeah, now they have to go.
That was one of their.
It'll be their next.
Yeah,
game.
wasn't that one of their 2 suggested worlds? It was either Vikings or Samurai. And it's Vikings right now.
Yes, it was. They had 2 in development at the same time. Well, that and something else that's a long time away. But they had Vikings and they were debating at what time period in Japan to place it. So it could have been like during like the samurai era, it could have been different. I'm not 100% sure. But it was like that internal struggle of what to go with next, and then they went with Vikings, which I mean,
That's
cool.
fun.
I mean, I'll get a Viking game this year, and I also get my samurai game this year. So
Yeah,
that's fine.
Go ahead, Brian.
No, I was gonna keep going.
Oh, I was gonna say I just like this a lot because old school Way of the Samurai fan from the PS2.
Yes.
So this is the follow up that I've always wanted, because Way of the Samurai got progressively worse as we went along. It did not evolve with the times, and this is like literally the Way of the Samurai style game that I've always wanted. So like 13-year-old me is very happy right now.
It's the game I always wanted for sure. So I put up my review. My people have been watching the hell out of it. Thank you for that. I gave it a 10 out of 10. I have now put 42 hours into it. I think I have done all the main quest. I'm doing all the side quests. The best thing about this game, non-spoilers, is the fact that I love that they just give you tools, but they don't tell you how to use them. There's just so much. Today, just as an experiment, I rode my horse up to a cliff, jumped off, and there was a base hundreds of feet below, and I threw myself off the cliff and assassinated a guy who's on the top of a watchout tower, and then started throwing knives down into the camp to stun a bunch of people, and then blew up a fucking bee's nest to sting a bunch of people, and go in there and start setting off smoke bombs. And it's like, I love that it doesn't tell you what to do. It doesn't hold your hand. It doesn't even really train you. It kind of just says, these guys will do anything to kill you, so you have to do anything to kill them first. And I love it. I love that they give you Legos and then say, build it.
I think one of the cooler features, right? I still say play this game, experiment with the way you play it, because it's beautiful in HDR with full color. But the fact that the amount of like respect they had with the Kurosawa mode is incredible. I love Kurosawa films, and the way that they make it look,
it does the audio too when you have it on.
It does the audio. It almost looks like
it
gets frame rate better. It just looks incredible. And the best thing about it is watching cutscenes with it on, because with the filters that it has on there, it actually makes it look like they're human, like it's actual actors rather than you're watching a computer cutscene. So I just think it's really impressive, and I think that was a really cool like tribute to
I think
one of the most influential directors of all time.
I think I played 30 hours in Kurosawa mode, honestly.
Oh, wow. Maybe I'll turn that on and try it out.
Yeah,
it is gorgeous.
Half the game like that. It is a stunning. It is a constant struggle, because this is one of the most beautiful video games ever made. And so every time you do that, you are effectively robbing yourself of seeing like golden leaves fly in, and like these beautiful streams and mountaintops and stuff.
Yeah,
like
that's the one thing I'm concerned about. It's like I almost don't want. Maybe
that's why
when
I can't do
see
it.
most of the stuff, I'll come back and check it. But like sometimes you'll just go over like a mountaintop or like a hill, and you look down, and it's just so many different colors popping, and like the sunlight and everything. It's like, this looks crazy.
Well, if you want to even like check out what it looks like, it's super. You just hit pause, and you can hit Kurosawa mode on and off super quick. So if you ever just want to see what something looks like, unless you trigger a cutscene, and you have to wait for the cutscene to end, but you can switch at any time.
A fun thing to do that sort of feels like cosplaying, or leaning into the fantasy element a little bit, is when you play the sort of mythic quests, pop in a Kurosawa mode for those. And just because they're all about like these sort of overly grand fantasy tales being told by townsfolk, and they're like, there's ghosts in the woods and there's all this sci-fi shit, and like there isn't, obviously, but because it's a very grounded video game. And I think that like that's what sort of differentiates it from Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is very high fantasy, and within that playground it allows them to do a lot of really cool crazy shit, where you're walking up over a hill and all of a sudden like a Hinox shows up and you're like, what the fuck is that? Or like one of those dudes that are just entirely made of rocks pop out of the ground. And this is a very grounded video game, obviously. And so I dig it for that. Like I actually really appreciate it for that. But I think it gets pretty close to scratching that Breath of the Wild itch. And I think it definitely scratches that Assassin's Creed itch. But I think that like those are very strong comparisons. And it is just one of those worlds that I could not want to stop exploring, especially the fact that it's covered in fog and you were effectively nudged to go clear that fog out. One of my favorite things about this game, like we were talking about Paper Mario before, a lot of that game is later on is kind of like actively avoiding battle, because you're like, what's the point? And in this game, when you happen upon a conflict on the street or on the ground or whatever, there's not really streets yet, you fight like 5 people who are watching somebody and kidnapping them, and then when you go through your insane amounts of combat to get to them, and however you want to do it, as freeform as you want, and you free the person who was entrapped by that scenario, and they tell you about a point of interest on a map that's based on like rumor and hearsay.
Yeah.
And they go like, that's fucking awesome. That is such a smart loop of nudging you into combat to save somebody who will then open up a point of interest, but that's still sort of a question mark somewhere. It's not really like, go here and there's a tower that this opens up and that opens up. And so I think that's a really smart way to consistently get you engaged into scenarios that you might have avoided otherwise.
Also, one of the most in-depth camera editing systems I've seen. There are so many little things you can tweak with it, and obviously the best setting is like Samurai Red. It just makes everything look really cool. But it's so in depth. It's pretty crazy.
For the photo mode.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, it's unmatched.
Sucker Punch did good. Miss Click, we'll finish up with you for this one. Would you think so? How many you play a little bit of it so far?
I just got through like the intro and then like a couple of side things. I agree with what Brian said, majority, but there's like a part where I'm like almost the opposite. For me, I do agree, like coming right off of Last of Us, the facial expressions, the cut scenes, the emotion that, Naughty Dog is able to provide for those games is just incredible. Like you can see the pain in their eyes, or like a simple, like they look down. So again, like you seeing these characters, it looks a little stale, a little rigid sometimes. Like there's one part where he's like waking up at the beginning and his face is all like, what's happening right now? You're like, okay, it's all right.
Their hands almost look like mittens, whereas like in Last of Us, people have every vein. I think the part
in the beginning, like when he like clenches his fist, like when he like comes back, it's like it did look a little plasticky, but it was like, okay, I understand, like this was right after Naughty Dog, like it's whatever. I think for me though, the one part with Last of Us, which I was glad they added things in, like with the dodging and stuff like that, and more like being able to use more melee in certain parts with The Last of Us Part 2, is that I instantly fell in love with the combat when they were teaching us in Ghost. And again, I think the targeting would have been nice, but I do like the fact that you can like directional input and it'll switch. So you can like dance around. And I like that free flow to where you're not having to like press the trigger or hold it or anything. So that was really, really cool. I think, I don't want to spoil it, but the moment like when it finally like begins, and it's like, whoa, and I was like,
oh yeah,
like
dude, that title screen was like when they showed the title card.
Chat could tell you, if I had a gasm emote.
That's a chilling moment. That's great.
Yeah, no, it was great.
As soon as I saw that field, I was like, this is where it happens. This is where, and then
I was like, this is it. I love this game.
That might be my favorite title card so far. When they started up and you're I was telling chat, the only other game that's done something like that was, and this is funny to think about because they're very different, was Starlink. Starlink did almost the exact same kind of thing at the end of their paralogue. You like shoot up into the sky and space opens up and it's like boom, Starlink.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and obviously Breath of the Wild has that moment where you like, you run out onto the hill for the first time it opens up. This felt kind of like it hit the same notes for me. Like
I agree.
I like that. That title card was really cool. I like that one a lot. Evan, we got a Discord question over there.
Kind of related to, I guess, the Ghost thing. It seems like Sony's first-party games are doing the Ubisoft formula better than Ubisoft can. How do you think this affects their respective businesses?
For Ubisoft or Sony or?
That's the question.
Well, I mean, Sony did Last of Us. Like I said before, Last of Us Part 2 really wasn't like the Ubisoft. I almost thought it was going to be for a second there in the beginning, and then it went like super linear after that, kind of. But I mean, Ghosts, Infamous, I assume are the ones Sucker Punch
Ghosts,
games.
Infamous, Spider-Man. Yeah, he throws a bunch.
Spider-Man. There's Spider-Man. Horizon.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, Ubisoft is very in love with live service games right now, and they have their Ubisoft formula. So I was kind of hoping they would change it up a little bit. I mean, I haven't seen Far Cry yet, so we'll see. But like Watch Dogs is going to be that formula. Assassin's Creed Valhalla going to be that formula.
I just want to see how Sucker Punch keeps evolving, and I think hopefully we'll hear some news on something sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I hope they
6-7 years from now.
6-7 years.
Maybe in August.
Yeah, maybe in August.
6-7 weeks, right, Jordan? There you go.
Yeah, 6-7 weeks.
Yeah, no, I think it's an interesting question. I think when Sony and Ubisoft are both launching games under sort of similar timelines and they're even overlapping, it becomes a little more noticeable. but I think they've luckily been able to pace themselves both with a cadence where there isn't a ton of opportunity to watch those things overlap. I played like 6 hours of Watch Dogs Legion last week, and it's just a completely different game than Ghost of Tsushima. Just completely different.
Okay.
I thought you were about to say than what they promised us, and I would have been like, yeah.
Do you think it'll feel weird because we have Legion, and then like 3.5 weeks later we have Assassin's Creed, 4 weeks later? Do you think that's like those type of games being that close? Do you think that like if you're a fan of Ubisoft, that could be an issue because would you get burned out? You feel like because it's, let's say Assassin's Creed Valhalla has a similar formula as Odyssey. Do you feel like going from like, is Watch Dogs different enough to where you think you would go from that to Assassin's Creed and you wouldn't feel burned out from like the open world kind of aspect to it?
No, I mean, I think you're totally right. There's been a lot of instances in history where companies, Ubisoft, EA, have sort of cannibalized their own aesthetic or their own timeline by launching like sort of consistently similar games around the same day or even week. I think that's suicide, honestly. Like I think it's bad timing.
It's
I think
dumb bad.
Yeah, it's dumb bad. The big elephant in the room on Watch Dogs Legion is that it launches like a few days or a week or so from Cyberpunk, which is like, if you're looking for like a big crazy sci-fi punk open world game and you're going to make a decision between those two, I mean, I think you're probably going to go with Cyberpunk. Obviously, one of them is more RPG and it's first person, and the other one's kind of a little goofier third person. But still, like aesthetically, they're kind of aiming for the same target audience. But we are getting, it seems like 2 or 3 massive open world games within a few weeks of each other, and that's why I was like a little put back by some of the negative reviews on Ghost, where people were like, "Oh, it's just another open world game," and I was like, "Yeah, but like it's been a minute since we've gotten like a really great one of those."
Yeah,
like this is also like this game is coming out in a time where a lot of us are stuck indoors, and being able to like ride a horse across the Japanese countryside is, you know, better
very
than
therapeutic.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice time for that. And so I think the timing worked really well for them. It is definitely a little Ubisofty, but they got rid of the whole tower bullshit of
it
like,
feels more streamlined is what I guess what I'll say at times for being open. Like open world can only feel so streamlined, but like I think they did a pretty good job with it. I have to see what Far Cry turns into, because maybe they try something a little different. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, they're going with that's the first time they're trying a dense urban setting for that one.
Yeah.
So I think that could go differently, but maybe that's not what people want from that franchise. So
okay,
we'll see.
Yeah, I do like the choice of antagonists for that game, though. I think that's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
That's gonna be awesome. Oh, you saw that too, Jordan, right? Boys season 2, and he's also in Far Cry.
Dude, I'm so ready for Boys season 2. I've read the comics, so I know what's happening in Boys season
Jordan,
2, and baby, I'm ready.
Did you see the Boys season 2 clip that they put out?
I didn't.
I might have to send you that with Black Noir.
No, I didn't see the Black Noir.
I might have to send you that. It has that scene that you were pointing out from the trailer.
Oh, great.
The extremely violent one that you were like, you gotta check this out when it first showed it. I'll show it. I'll send it over to you.
I mean, that's the actor, by the way, from Breaking Bad. He's like, he also has the Mandalorian season 2. He has
He's
a lot
good.
of stuff coming up at the end of this year.
He's absolutely terrifying by just, being calm, and it's like, I don't know what this guy's gonna do. I better be careful with it. Let me go over to some of the super chats real quick. Fish Fan says RGT quarantine cuisine of the week and maybe a story. He definitely told a story. I wasn't able to get a hold of him, but I'm gonna go with
it's
ham.
Arby's.
Hey, Arby's? Okay. I'm gonna go with ham.
He's eating fish tonight.
Symphonic Balance says, good evening, everyone. Don't expect to hear about Metroid Prime 4, Breath of the Wild 2, any news about Smash due to Min Min. Also, if Microsoft puts their name or their games on Xbox and PC, is there a reason to buy the Series X?
Yes.
I think some people just don't want to play on PC, Will. I think that's all it is. It's just Evan and I have seen it. Some people they just don't want to play on PC. They have a console.
Like even with the modern stuff where you do have to install things, where you do have to update stuff, we still get people who are like, I play console because I don't. And it's like, but you are. You're just not recognizing it, so they still buy it.
Captain Chaz says, catch Player Essence latest podcast to see him roast Ghost of Tsushima.
I didn't roast Ghost of Tsushima. I said it was great.
Why you gotta roast Ghost of Tsushima like that?
Why do you hate
I
that
said the
game?
same thing that I said here. I said I like it, I enjoy it, but there's some issues
I don't know. Sounds like
the
you
same
wrote
thing.
I can't believe you murdered Ghost of Tsushima, bro. That's not fucking necessary.
Really,
I
a
said the
0
same
out
thing
of
that
10, OJ? Did you
I said the
really
same
have
thing. The only thing that I did differently.
might as well just be a 0. Like
The only thing that I did is when people say stupid stuff, I sit there and debate that with them, then they get mad and say, "You're just being a fanboy." I'm like, "Well, dude, tell me what's factual." Then they'll be like, "Well, I don't know," and that's why they're bringing this
That's how
up.
they
Right
sound.
now.
They all sound like a
But
tiny
they sit
alien.
there and tell me like, "Oh, it's like Breath of the Wild." I'm like, "Well, what is it improving from Breath of the Wild?" Exploration. I'm like, bro, every game has exploration. Can you fly? Can you climb good? Can you do all this? Is there a Sheikah snake? Is there like water with is there all that? No, but so I'm just like, okay.
It has a sticky grenade.
Steve G says thoughts on a Smash reveal Monday, 1st/3rd party. I don't know if they'll have a Smash reveal at this next, we'll say quote unquote direct mini direct thing. What do you think, OJ? Think it's time for a Smash reveal again?
I think a Smash reveal could be coming sometime soon. Yeah, it could be coming sometime soon because, they already made the preparation for Min Min. Sakurai talked about it more, and they've got that character ready to go. That's probably the hardest character they're going to do was Min Min because of how the way that, ARMS works. So now that they got Min Min out of the way, because Sakurai was like, well, Nintendo said put in Min Min. And Sakurai was like, well, it's easy for you to say, but what about me? That's what Sakurai said in his latest column. Like, it's just easy for you. I mean, we can't just put these characters in. So I think that's the hardest character. They got that one out of the way. So I think they'll be able to, work hard and get a next character for a reveal pretty soon. I don't think it's going to be too far away from now.
I saw this wise Moments dropped 100 in the super chat and said, I would like to donate $10 to every square, an extra 5 to OJ and King Evan. And Nate, are you still reviewing channels for a price?
Yes, it is $500 for a channel review.
What?
Is this? I can't tell what's more of a scam. This or your fake relationship to Ski Sniper?
Well, I have no relationship to Ski Sniper except that I spent 50 cents on it. And how's it a scam if I provide an actual product?
All right, wise moments. We'll take care of that with Nate.
Take care of what? They gave me $500. I'll review a channel.
No, I said $10 to every square, $30 to YouTube. Thanks, wise moments. I appreciate it. I'll talk to Nate about this channel reviewing thing that he's doing. Apparently,
no one's paid the fee, so I haven't reviewed any channel.
I wonder why.
It's pretty steep for a guy with like 11,000 subs.
Thanks. Wise moment.
They had me on YouTube. I can just throw it on Twitter.
Swift X Miles in their super chat as well. Thanks. Link says, "Hello, I'm enjoying Paper Mario much more than I was expecting. What are your thoughts on future of Paper Mario and Mario RPGs?" I think they just go action RPG with it. Adventure. That's me. Why not? Then
bring back Super Mario RPG.
Go back to okay. You want to see another Super Mario RPG?
Mm-hmm.
Go full on RPG with it, like turn-based battles and everything.
Yeah, why not? Get Square Enix involved again.
I'd be okay with that. I'd be all right with doing that.
Let's do
it. Francisco says no Brian and MVG at the same time.
We figure we just swap them out. I mean, it's just if you need a bald white guy,
the same person. My kid keeps climbing into
incoming
the frame.
mini Altana.
Oh, it's fine.
You're supposed to go to bed. This is ridiculous. Get out of here.
She wants to listen to the Spawncast.
She's like, bed? No way.
No bed. Get out of here.
Now when this quality programming is on.
I love you. I'll see you soon.
And then Derek says, "Hey Sean, I'm ordering Sean's like, I'm ordering a foot-long sub later on tonight. What kind of meat should I go with? Ham or beef? Also, what's your opinion on extra mayo?" We'll ask him next week.
He's been into ham recently, so he probably would have said ham.
We'll save that one, Derek, for next week, so I can scroll down and see it next week. Ian Charles says, "I want a Brian Altano remix of what would Brian Boitano do from South Park?"
Yeah, what would Brian Boitano do? He'd probably kick an ass or two.
You haven't heard that before, right,
I'll
Brian?
leave that to the rest of you. That was like, man, that's such an old joke that I've never been mad at because it's just like it's so old. it's just too old to be upset at because it's just that, like I think that movie came out like 30 years ago.
Yeah, that must be like a 2002 joke minimum.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no problem with it.
Cheesy says, looking forward to 23rd, mostly looking out for Hellblade gameplay, Obsidian's next Skyrim-like RPG, and a wish for Double Fine with Banjo, UK 2 a.m. gang. Wow. 2
a Double Fine Banjo game? Was that the prediction?
Yeah.
I'm into that. That's a great idea.
I don't know.
I
about
never
that
even
one.
put that together.
Nate, of course, Nate in there. Everyone's like, that'd be really cool. And Nate's like, I don't know about that one.
Hey, don't get your hopes up for it.
Oh, gosh. Just bring in Platonic. Let him take another shot at it.
No. I don't know if it's a cutie one, and it's like the lair. It's not like ukulele lair. No.
Everyone's out here like, hey, let's do Banjo. They need to do Banjo. And it's like, yeah, okay. We'll see about that.
They can make a banjo. They just can't be Platonic.
Okay. Mighty Squish says, someone teach Wood how to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 so he enjoys it. I think Wood just he likes the first one. He's all right with the first one. Michael Gibson says, if I've never played anything on Xbox, what's the best option I'll try out there? First party games, Game Pass on PC, buy a console for my retro store.
Ooh.
The best game on Xbox?
The best option to try out the first party games, Game Pass.
Forza.
Well, I would say get Games Pass. You can because everything's backwards compatible, or all Microsoft stuff. So I definitely say play the Fable games. I think the Fable games.
Yeah, they say you can jump on Game Pass on PC. The library is a little more limited on there, but the Halos are making their way there. Up to Halo 3 now, so we have 1, 2, 3 in Reach. That's a fun package to have there.
Just play Scape 3.
Yeah, and you could probably find some deal for like 3 months of Game Pass for dirt cheap.
Yeah,
usually in a pop.
I recommend.
Box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Depending on where you're coming in from, I think is a good question. Like if you're like a huge Nintendo fan, I would say start playing Ori. Both of those games are like beautiful vintage Metroidvanias, phenomenal games. So I'd say jump into that. If you're a PlayStation guy, man, a little trickier. I'm trying to think where the aesthetic would fit perfectly there, but like, yeah,
if you have that Xbox, all the Banjo games are on there. It's almost
that is true. Yeah, that Rare collection is a blast. I mean, it's worth digging into that.
I mean, they also have like they have some good third party stuff on there. I think like all the Kingdom Hearts are on there at this point. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is still on there. Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Good stuff, just like in general on Game Pass right now. First party though. Final Fantasy 9 I know is definitely on there. But
yeah, the rest are coming soon.
Gears, if you want a good racing game, Forza Horizon 4 is probably the best racing game I've ever played. So those are some pretty good ones there. And then of course I'll just say Halo constantly because that's like one of my favorite games on the Xbox. Probably my favorite franchise on the Xbox.
Lost Odyssey. If you have backwards compatibility, go get it. Game is freaking amazing.
I'm pretty sure it's on Game Pass.
Is it?
I thought it was just backwards compatible.
No, it's just backwards
It's on Game
compatible.
Pass.
Is it?
That's dope.
It's part of the backwards compatibility of Xbox 360 games on Game Pass.
Oh, you have no excuse. Yo, it's there.
Yeah.
Go get it.
No excuse. There's tons of excuses not to play on Xbox 360 because it's like 15 discs, you know? Like, but like,
Yeah.
Did you see the retail package for Flight Simulator?
Yeah, it's 10 discs.
Yeah, it's same thing. It's 10 discs in like 2021.
I got my USB DVD drive in my closet. We got this.
Oh, it's amazing.
dude.
I got
Honestly,
nostalgic looking at that.
when you open it, the disc just fly out. It just pops. It's like
not work.
no, it happened to me, dude. I opened it up and just boom, it just hit me in the face. I was like, what the?
Propati says, has anyone read the final hours of Half-Life? Alex. I heard the big thing from that is getting passed around is that the developers there were making mention that they were interested in doing another Half-Life game, but not just VR related. So that sounded kind of like Half-Life 3, but kind of not. So I don't know. We'll see. But no, I have not completely read it. I just saw some of the I guess parts of it that were being talked about.
I think the weirdest thing, because I was looking at it, one of the things is that they started and canceled 5 separate Half-Life projects like before they did Alex, which is crazy to think of, like, because we don't even see or hear any of those. We assume that somebody was messing with something, but geez, that's a lot of canceled Half-Lives.
But I mean, if Half-Life 3 comes out, it basically has to be perfect. because of the overall meme status of it. Like it has to be perfect.
It was kind of fun when Death Stranding dropped and it had the Half-Life crossover in it. You're just seeing the symbols everywhere. You're like, no.
Yeah. Oh man.
I think the thing with like game franchises is that like the longer you take a break, the harder it is to come back to it. Once you lose that rhythm, the expectations get so high and anticipation gets so high that you're bound to disappoint a bunch of people. I honestly think that that's kind of what happened with The Last of Us. People had 6-7 years to think about, what they wanted to see happen with those characters, which I personally really enjoyed. And I listened to your guys' episode about sort of who liked it and who didn't and stuff like that. And I think that like it's all I think it's all completely valid, but I also think that like the big part of that is taking 6-7 years break and just building up all this anticipation. People start creating all this lore in their head of what something should be. Once you stop the train basically and take it off the tracks, rebuilding it and putting it back on, people have all these expectations of where it's going to go. Invariably you're going to let people down.
What's really crazy though is the longer you wait to make it, the bigger and crazier the expectations get. So it's like this too. It's like
I think that's why everybody celebrates Doom so much, is the fact that Doom 2016 managed to be so freaking good after being gone for so freaking long. It's kind of just like, damn, like that's 80 times more impressive.
I think it's a little bit easier to do a game like Doom though, where you're not really too focused on the story, I mean,
it's essentially a reboot. Yeah,
it's essentially like with Last of Us, like I get it, like I get what they're maybe trying to go for. I just think that maybe they just missed a couple marks here and there in terms of like how that would be translated to the user after that break,
Yes.
Like, no spoilers, but after that long of a break, people were thinking certain things, but it's tough. It's not easy. And what they've had to endure afterwards, all the stuff that people have been saying has been nuts. Yeah. Like it's not even like it's not that serious,
Oh no, it's insane.
we I actually had brought that up on stream. We were talking about it today, yesterday, and the day before, because you see that with other games too. I think that's kind of why, like, me not getting a chance to play a lot of these games when they first came out, playing them now and looking at them objectively, I don't have, kind of those years under the belt. Like I remember I crammed all the Kingdom Hearts stuff the same month that Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. And when I played 3, I was like, this is just like 2. And people were like, that's the problem. And it's like, you didn't realize, because there's so many years in between, is that like we wanted this game, like it's 2 but worse. You know what I mean? Like we want this game to grow up, we want it to move on, and like it felt like it was going backwards. Obviously there's been additions too, but like I realized that like when I've played these games recently, like I don't kind of have that attachment of like I have years to think on this. Like this has become my favorite series over these 5-6 years of nothing, and it's just like, oh, I can only imagine what the next one's gonna be like. And I think we were also talking about Breath of the Wild 2, because the trailer's been out for like over a year now. People are like, yo, Zelda's gonna be playable, like she's gonna be with you all game. I'm like, y'all, hold up, we've only seen one trailer, and it's like it's not even 2 minutes, like really. It's like she could end up disappearing like right at the beginning, and then we're just saving her again the entire time. Like you can't have an expectation that it's going to be completely different. We have no context. But because we've had even just a year just to sit on that one trailer with little to no context, I'm like, dude, we don't even know if we're going to get to see the overworld again.
Dr. 4chan told me that the real main character is definitely Zelda. I mean, Dr. 4chan never lies. He's the master hacker.
Dr. 4chan. Yeah, I played Last of Us straight through. So.
MMO.
Let's go through some of these super chats before we finish up with the last time. I'm just going to merge Xbox and then, because it's all this week basically coming up. We're about to go over the 2-hour mark. So Brian, if you had to run off for anything, just let us know. It's just
I'm all yours. I miss you guys, so let's do it. Let's rock and roll.
Or Max, I know you had kind of a longer day too.
So. I may peace out here. I'll sit here for one more topic and see. I need to eat, man. I've been on camera for 9 hours today.
Set up really, really well. So any
get those streamer lungs. You good, Max?
All right. They have this is VC says, which open world is better, Tsushima or Breath of the Wild? I'll say Breath of the Wild, because I can climb things a lot easier and there's more to do with the world.
I think Breath of the Wild is more beautiful.
Oh, that's what I'll say. I'll say he's an idiot.
I think I like the combat. So I like the combat and story more in Tsushima, and everywhere else I like Breath of the Wild more.
Okay, gotcha. Nick says, I missed the reason I missed the reason the PSP was trending on Twitter. Can you catch me up? I figured it's just overall nostalgia of it. I clicked PSP and it was just people talking about the PSP, and I was like, okay.
Somebody in my mentions told me it was a tech article. Some tech company was like referencing it and the success of it, and for some reason it just started the trend, and then everybody jumped on the LOL, this is a trending train.
Oh, okay.
including
I was
all of
worried
us.
it stood for something else that was one of our rights being stripped away in 2020.
Oh.
I was like, is PSP like a healthcare thing I don't know about?
I clicked it and it was just a bunch of images of the PSP itself, and people were like, I like the PSP. I was like, oh, okay, good. All right, that's okay. I was like, Square should move Crisis Core over. And that was it. I don't know.
Yeah.
What was that? I don't know.
That's I mean, PSP has reached, I mean, it long since reached, but reached that sort of status of being tremendously popular because it is easy to pirate. And that's a really interesting thing because when a console reaches that sort of echelon, people start Googling like crazy, and any sort of content around like that collates, lists of the best and worst things about it become very, very popular. And I think like I find that deeply fascinating in a way that like these systems get a second and third and fourth life based on how easy they are to emulate later on down the line. Like the GBA had a huge boom a couple years ago, rightfully so, because it's got a great library. But people found out how easy it was to emulate and pirate, and they don't want to just download a ROM dump of 10 million GBA games, most of which are like Hannah Montana, and and not know which is the best ones to get. So they want to drill down on the and so that's so interesting to me because like people, a system like the PSP, which we look back on as like, I liked it, it was a hit, but it wasn't like the biggest thing in the world, will live on for a very long time because of stuff like that. It's super cool.
You know what? I figured it out. We need the release, the new anthology collection from them, and it needs to be Crisis Core and Tactics as one package.
Yes.
That's the reason why people are bringing it up. They're stuck. There's some PSP games. Until we get those games made modern, people will continue to bring up PSP. Just like they brought up Vita
collection.
We finally got Persona 4 Golden, right?
There, we get it.
So now we need to get those games. Final Fantasy Tactics and
fucking like prisoners of war, man. They're like stuck in this console war from like 15 years ago, and like they need to be rescued. They need to be brought out into the modern world. Like I actually was just like,
by the way, looking for the games.
Where the hell did Max?
This guy's got. This is a downgrade from whatever. This new place is a downgrade, bro.
He just gets up, picks up a green screen, and runs out the door, and now he comes back.
This is a downgrade. I'm sorry, Dreamcast guy, bro. You gotta be. Can't you sense it?
Gotta get my Darth Vader PSP out there. Ultimate. That's right. You can be jealous. This thing plays GTA,
Mac,
baby.
Did we interrupt you? You're just playing your Darth Vader PSP.
Here's my Darth Vader PSP. That's the closet I sleep in, so I try and put the green screen in front of it so it looks more professional.
And then Tear Both Eyes, that says, do you think SpaceX Starlink internet will be good enough for gaming? If so, could it be the next step forward toward all digital future? I do think it will be good enough for gaming, yes. How long will it take? Who knows? But yeah, I think so, and I hope it is, because I want Comcast to get pushed around in my area so they stop giving me terrible service.
It would be really nice if Comcast could stop being shitty. That'd be great.
Dude, I broke up with them this year, and it was like it was like like I've been through some bad.
It's freeing, right? Like it's abusive relationship, and you're finally out of it.
I wish we could, but in our area, it's just Comcast.
Yeah. So we got Sonic out here, which is like
fast food. Nice.
No, not the
Sean's not here, right?
Yeah, you can get Coke from there.
The Hedgehog.
Not the Hedgehog. Not the fast food. No, the internet, and it's like gigabit fiber and stuff like that.
Oh man,
nice.
Yeah, we got it set up during. It was like, I think that dude is like literally the only person that's been in my apartment in 4 months, like outside of my family. And he came here with
sit down? Do you want some water?
Yeah, you try not to let him go.
Would you want?
And so like they broke up with Comcast on the spot for me. They paid off the rest of my contract with Comcast. And I don't work for Sonic. I'm not getting paid for this.
Sean did.
and they paid my first 3 months.
Wow, really?
I know I work for IGN and I can't like anything without people being like, you got paid for that.
Oh man.
Over here.
Yeah.
This is gonna be 4 out of 10. Too much internet.
No, but it totally worked out, and I had the saddest call with Comcast too when I called them up to be like, hey, it's over, and they were
Really,
like,
I'd have been like, yo, I'm out. I'm out of here.
Right?
I really thought they were gonna put up a fight, and it was actually sadder than that. He was like,
Really?
He was like, yeah, all right,
We
I get
agree.
it.
It's like,
And I was like, you get it? And he's like, yeah, man, it is what it is. You know,
It's
just
one of those
good luck
days.
out there.
After everything we've been through, I get it.
I was like, you gonna send me my last bill? And he's like, no, it looks like they already squared it up. And I was like, yeah, Sonic paid that shit. And he was like, yeah, I guess they did.
did he ask you if they were hiring or not? Or
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
But I was like, this is like I was with them for like 8 years and we broke up like that, and it was so fucking tragic.
See, I'd been ready to roll in, you know, like,
Oh, God, yeah.
here, and then I met with that. I've been like, oh man.
Like, check out my
You know,
hot new
that's-
girlfriend.
That's exactly what happened. I was ready to like throw punches and fight and be on hold for an hour and a half. They picked up in half a second and they're like, we get it, goodbye. So
Jeez.
hopefully that future's coming to you guys, because like
I'm ready. I'm ready.
yeah,
I think
man.
because
If they were just
I
giving
have
us
hybrid.
good service, I would even like good like speeds, because I get like a gigabit down and then 40 up.
yeah, I think in
Yeah,
my
it's like-
I think in my area it's either Comcast or like some satellite system that like if the wind blows, my internet's out for like 3 hours or something.
And to get that though, to get a gigabit down and 40 up in this area, they had to go like to like the manager's manager who only hangs out in the back room and never comes up to see customers, kind of thing, you know. And it's like,
Comcast is scummy as hell, bro.
Oh god, yeah.
They are slime, man. They scammed me when I was in college. They scammed me. Like, as a college student, I got scammed by them. I kept on trying to call the dude to say, yo, man, I'm not getting the speeds. Oh, yeah, I'll be there next week. Dude, his name was Rico. Never came back. I was about ready to. I went on a hunt.
oh man.
They
I
closed
went
down.
on a hunt in Fresno for Rico. Anybody named Rico that worked at Comcast, I couldn't find him.
They closed down one
I
of the
used to
local
get-
buildings near me so you could return your stuff to them when you were done renting it. And the only way to get to it was to go to one of their offices that you had to like pay a toll to get across a bridge to go to for a while. It was such shit.
Fuck that.
There's microtransactions to deposit your internet.
Dude, I used to get so mad when they used to have that. Remember there was like that worst company in the world competition,
Yeah.
like
The golden
and-
blue.
EA or something.
and EA always
Bank
won.
of America, and EA.
Yeah, it was Bank of America and EA, and I was like, do you guys have Comcast? Like, I was like, okay, I'm sorry.
They were doing
added
that
in
karma
the new-
thing. They were doing that karma
Yeah.
thing where every time the government was like, "We're gonna take over the internet," and Comcast was like, "No," and then everyone was just like, "Thank you, thank you. This is a great company." And you're like, "No, they're doing this for a reason."
Yeah. EA won the same year that like Comcast was pulling bullshit and Enron was pulling.
yeah.
It's like you guys should know more companies. Like,
Gosh.
Well, and that's definitely why it was just gamers on the internet rising up.
yeah.
So yes, in conclusion, I do hope that SpaceX Starlink pushes Comcast around. Absolutely. Patrick says, Spawnwave, what made you start taking things apart? Have you ever had the issue getting a system to work again
We
after?
took things apart for decades.
2009?
Yeah.
2009, right? That's when I started
Well,
doing
we
it. Yeah.
started the thing in 08, but we didn't finally get them to let us do it in store until 09.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't work after put it back together. Back then, yeah, there was stuff that just would. I mean, sometimes stuff comes in and it's just busted. Like it's not coming back. And eventually, you start having the conversation with the person, like, this thing's worth like $200. How much further do you want to go with this, or you just want to buy this one we have over here?
They drop it off and you spin it around and point at the bullet hole and you go, "I know why it's not working."
Yeah. See, this isn't an extra video port. Not an
We
HDMI.
fix some weird stuff. Things run over by cars, and they try to explain how this happened. Because like a PS3 comes in, oh, it got ran over by a car. All right, that's like the conversation. Okay, sure.
The kid
Why
that
not?
left it on the radiator during the holidays, so it actually had those like melted indents along the bottom of it from the radiator heat.
Yep. We only had 2 bullet hole systems though, so
Yeah,
that's
only
not
2.
too bad.
Way.
What about bugs?
So many bugs.
Bugs happened a lot.
We had that beautiful Xbox we opened up, and it was like a perfectly shaped brick of just roach corpses filling
Okay,
it.
well, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. I love you guys a bunch.
It's not what you do.
I'm gonna
It goes in 2 trash bags, and then you put it outside.
You're gonna go eat after that?
I have to. I have to do it now. If I fully imagine this, I can't.
Oh,
So
you should
much
see
love.
some of the wild stuff. There was
Nope.
one. where-
Yeah, step 1 is vomit. Step 2 is then put it inside the trash bag and take
there
it.
was one where the person had a system in their backpack, and they had, I think it was body wash, and it leaked all over the system, and the entire PlayStation 3 board smelled like Old Spice body wash. But we got it to work, so that was actually
okay.
that would work. Yeah, it always smelled like Old Spice from now on. And then we get the ones that would come in where the angry girlfriend found out that the guy was in extracurricular activities and like threw water on it or threw it out the
Entanglements.
What kind of activity?
Entanglements?
I'm bringing it back.
No, it's called entanglements around here, John.
Oh, no.
That's like
one of them,
situation.
one of them was the PlayStation 4 system a week after it came out, and that thing got the business out of the second story window.
Yeah, she just chucked
the
it out
business.
the window.
Oh, dude, it must have frisbeed that thing because it was in
Don't get
pieces.
caught up in entanglements, and the PS4 lives.
Oh man.
Forehead.
Yeah. Let's let me go over to Evan. We got this quick question real quick.
Still got a few left. Yeah. Do we feel that Microsoft's xCloud mobility, like play anywhere kind of attitude, is actually a pretty decent, I guess, threat for the Switch's portable play gimmick?
No.
I'm going to say no because you still need to be connected to the internet. So I don't think it's a threat to the Switch, but I think for what Microsoft's trying to do, it's more of a threat to Stadia.
Yeah, because the trick would probably be if it actually takes off in Japan, which we're all pretty sure it's never going to happen because the whole like internet everywhere in Japan thing would be a kind of threat to it. But I don't think anyone's going to care.
I think the biggest problem is you still need to control with your phone.
Yeah,
It's like
people in Japan like to play regular mobile games like Fire Emblem Heroes or like actual, like just like the little or like Dragalia Lost, like that's where you just tap on the screen. Like they don't want to play like Halo, you know, like right there or something like that. So I don't really see it, being that. But yeah, I think Stadia, like John said, Stadia would probably be it. But I mean, like, dude, Stadia had a Connect, like Stadia Connect. Nobody even covered it. I didn't see a single person.
What happened? I covered it, and everyone in the comments was like, "There was a Stadia Connect."
I mean, like the day of, like there was like no live streams. Like, yo, join me live for the Stadia Connect. Like, nobody cared. Like, so like. You beat something that's dead.
Actually, that was their best one too. That's the funniest part. That was their best.
They had 5,000 player Bomberman. I mean, like that's
Now, 64 player Bomberman Battle Royale. All Stadia players can now play in the same room together. It's a good thing. Okay?
Yeah,
if it works.
The thing is, like, yeah,
if it works.
The way we've been doing preview events, like post COVID, have been fascinating because like the Watch Dogs one, the Assassin's Creed one, the Cyberpunk one, were all done remotely, essentially streaming off of somebody else who then overnights the footage to you on a drive. And so what you're seeing isn't as good as what they're seeing, but what you get back looks fantastic. And that's an interesting way to do things. But I right now it's sort of privatized to the people who are cued into this thing. If they can open that up to a lot of people, I think they're onto something. Like if they can start saying, here are demos, like when that Xbox event happens in a few days, if they start going like, we're beaming demos to you this way, we're doing this way. And if you're on a high-end PC, you can play this right here, right now. That's going to be a really big thing to get the word out. In terms of like eating into the Switch's territory, I mean, Nintendo's catalog is games. That's really what it comes down to. Everyone always tries to reduce them to their tech, and they're missing the sort of forest from the trees. It is about like people want the most disruptive game this year is Animal Crossing, and it doesn't. Who fucking cares what resolution it's running at? Like most people don't give a shit. They're like, oh, do you have that couch? Like, I'll trade you for this plant. Like it's bizarre. And so their whole thing has always been, let's take these characters, these saccharine, sweet, iconic characters, and give you fun things to do with them. And everyone else is fighting over technology. And I think there's obviously room to service all of those audiences at the same time. I'm one of those people that will regularly dip between all those things, but I don't really see anybody sort of eating each other's lunch on this one anytime soon.
I will say xCloud on phone is actually decent. It's not bad. I've used it a few times. It's fine.
That's the point of xCloud, is that it's not going to eat into the Switch. If anything, Microsoft can team with Nintendo to use the Switch to Microsoft's advantage. Microsoft is weak in Japan. What's strong? The Switch. What can help Microsoft get some of their ecosystem into Japan, utilizing Nintendo's strength? Neither company loses in that outcome.
Nate,
Nintendo sells software and hardware, and Microsoft gets a piece of the pie.
Nate, that might be a day whenever that happens and xCloud shows up on Switch. That might be the day that you actually have a face reveal just to laugh.
Phil Spencer's already said it. He wants xCloud on everything, including the Switch. It's just a matter of them making the contract and the deal and making it happen. But it's something they are actively investigating. It is something they've explored. It's something they want to happen.
Which one's more likely, xCloud on Switch or the Grinch leak? Which one?
Oh my god.
xCloud on Switch.
The thing is, if you had told me going into 2020 there would be a 4 to 8 to however long month-long pandemic that kept people home and away from travel, I would be like, well, this directly impacts Nintendo's business model of conjoining a handheld and console lineage into one specific system, because why buy a bunch of portable games if you're not traveling? But the market has dictated otherwise, and they've had the best-selling console. They're selling out constantly, and people are looking to them for experiences. So it's really bizarre to me. I find personally like that my purchasing habits on Nintendo Switch have slowed down a little bit, but for a lot of people who've never owned that system before, which is that sort of blue ocean strategy they went for during the Wii era, they're diving in 100%. I have anecdotally, I have so many friends who are buying Switch for the first time this year, or buying a console for the first time this year, and it's a Nintendo one. So that's been really interesting to see.
Yeah, I can actually, my ex-girlfriend, she texted me a few days ago saying, where can I find a Nintendo Switch? I want to play Mario games. She hasn't owned a console since the Wii.
You know what you do? You tell her watch Newswave, because I tell people when they're around. I found them
YouTube.
I found them for less than $300 3 weeks ago.
She's not going to watch YouTube.
And you know what happened? I said it, and they all sold out.
So good.
Okay.
She's not watching YouTube.
Go to the Nintendo refurbishment website. Buy it there.
She's not going to do that. She wants to walk into a Best Buy or a GameStop or wherever is local for her, or go to Amazon and have it delivered to her.
She's a purchasing casual.
But the Nintendo refurbishment site delivers just like Amazon.
She would say, what the hell is this website? I don't want refurbished. I want brand new. And even if I say it is brand new, it's just Nintendo is actually shipping you a brand new system for a little cheaper. She'll say, no, I want to get it from a store.
So Nate, my theory
There's
is
a reason she's an X.
Yeah, that too.
That's what broke the straw.
My theory as to why she's like regressed into wanting Mario games again is the same way we've all done that with our like eating habits. You know, like we're like, I want to eat like comfort food again.
We want to remember a better world.
Yeah, exactly. And like I usually take care of the shit I eat. You know, like I'm like pretty active, and I cook all my own food and all that. But this year, fuck it. This year I'm like, hey, what microwave pizza? Who gives a shit? Like, rules are off. And so I think a lot of people are kind of like, they're like, oh, I can play Mario games again on this thing. Like, I want to be, yeah, I want to be 10 years old again. I want to read Nintendo Power, eat bagel bites, and play Mario.
Jordan, that Charizard, Jordan.
Yeah.
What's up? That's right.
Yeah,
8-year-old me. Now. So excited right now.
You're a Pokemon guy now. I'm not. You're the Pokemon man.
I'm not doing this I'm not doing this for YouTube or anything.
Tell them about your Pokemon habits now. Tell the audience, because they don't know. They don't know that you're secretly a big Pokemon card collector.
I'm not a Pokemon card collector now.
Just
the one set. Opening packs nonstop. You just got a whole box from eBay.
Yeah, it's whole box. It's right.
Sounds like denial to me.
You're probably gonna look on eBay tonight for another box to try to get the full set.
I've seen the collectors. I'm not doing that. That gets wild out there with some of those.
Second, I quit making Pokemon content online.
Jordan, you told me open like 400 packs for one card. I'm not doing that. I'm not going
700 packs to find one card.
I'm not going that deep, dude. I just wanted the Charizard, and here it is.
You got one of the Charizards to get. You got 2 actually. You pulled his other one earlier, but
Yeah, I'm
still 2 other ones to grab in that set.
Let's go through some of the Streamlabs, and then we will finish. Oh, how many more Discord questions do you have, Evan?
2.
Okay, cool. Real quick, let's go through some of these. Wishbone says Dirt Rally 3 delayed because of current situation or released next year or next gen. Didn't we have a Dirt game already announced?
Dirt 5 coming out.
Dirt 5, right? Wait, isn't that? Yeah, Dirt 5's coming out. It's gonna be 120 frames per second apparently.
Yeah.
Dirt Rally 3, that might be. It wouldn't be next year. It'd be the year after, because they usually go like every other year for those. I thought. So that would be 2022. I think you'll see Dirt Rally 3. Yeah, I would say then is when I look for it. Vision said, do we as gamers overestimate what we feel is a no-brainer for games, The Sims, Metal Gear, Grand Theft to come to Switch and sell well, or do the game companies know better than us?
Yes. All gamers overestimate what they think should come to a platform because you don't realize it's a business. Certain factors have to be, evaluated to bring a game to a platform. It's not just, hey, Metal Gear will sell here. No, it might not sell here. And there's a lot of research done into all of these decisions.
What do you think about The Sims not going to the Switch?
Sims is a technological decision.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't know if they were just like, it might not sell on the Switch, and it's like Animal Crossing explodes on the Switch.
I'm pretty sure they know it will sell. It's just a tech issue.
Okay.
Which they're not going to invest a lot more money to do a different, to circumvent the problems to then release it and potentially not make back a return on investment.
Because the Sims makes a lot of money for them. You figure they would just want to continue building that customer base through even the Switch.
But look how much of the Sims revenue is microtransaction based.
Majority.
Yeah, I'm sure there'd be a lot of that going on the Switch too.
There might not be a lot of it on the Switch because if they look to FIFA as their example, microtransactions from FIFA on Switch are very, very low. So if they look at that as their database, they're going to say, well, 2% of FIFA players on it are only buying microtransactions.
Trash.
Yeah, but Sims would probably sell better than FIFA on the Switch.
That version of FIFA's garbage.
Yeah.
Like, if you put minimal effort into something to say, oh, well, this is, I get what you're saying, and I agree with you to a degree, but like, if you put minimal effort into something and say, well, I guess why isn't things happening? That's like doing content creation on YouTube or IGN. You guys know, like, if you put minimal effort into a production and then you don't get views, I guess I should stop doing this now. I'm not getting enough of what I want. Like, come on.
Unfortunately, that's modern day EA. They're very risk adverse. They need to know they're going to have success on their hands. They're not going to take the gamble on the Switch of saying, well, we're going to sell 7 million copies, but if only 10,000.
But they waffle though.
This wasn't worth it to us.
The problem is that EA waffles though. Like, I would get what you're saying if they didn't waffle back and forth to investors. First they say, oh well, it's not selling. We can't put anything on there. Then they say, well look, the games don't. Third-party games don't sell as well as we want. And then all of a sudden they say, okay, now we're gonna make games on there. Like, stop flip-flopping and start going all over the place. Just if you're gonna stick with something, stick with it. Don't sit there and make excuse after excuse. I don't care about EA. They don't gotta put their games. I don't care. I'm just saying, like, don't be sitting there making excuse and making up stuff until the point to where now it's 60 million units and now all of a sudden you say, okay, now we're gonna make some games on there. But where were you before? You were just saying that third-party games don't sell, third-party game, blah blah blah, this and that to your same investors. Now you want to change your mind? No, bro. Like, I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it.
I'm totally with you guys. The entire thing is that, like, if they are risk adverse, the easiest way to circumvent that is to drag and drop. And I know it's not that simple. It's a very rudimentary way and reductive way of understanding how games get ported. But to take something like Dead Space and putting on Switch for a price that is actually palatable to most people, and not $30. Yeah, $30, $20-$30, something that makes you, not even think too hard about it. Like, the Capcom sold Resident Evil 4 for $30. That was like one of those things I was like, this is one of my favorite games of all time. That's a bit much.
It should be 20.
Well, how did Monster Hunter's Generation do? It did really great, I thought.
Yeah,
Generation did fine. Yeah,
Monster Hunter Generation did well. I mean, the weird thing about Resident Evil 4 should have been a touchdown for Capcom. All the portable Resident Evil 4, they needed to add gyro controls.
Yeah, I agree.
And they never even said, oh, they have it in Resident Evil 5. They have it in Resident Evil 6. What the hell?
And then there's some wild stuff with Revelations where it's like, oh, use the IR to like reload. It's like, what what is this? Okay.
They put in effort, then they got to Resident Evil 4, one of the best games they've ever made. They're like, we're going to do the minimal effort here and charge a premium.
I know, and that bummed me out because it's like one of my top 3 games of all time. And but I still loved it. It's a totally serviceable port, but it doesn't really add anything new to it. But I'm with OJ in that like EA doesn't really like, they put out the fucking sandwiches from like Fire Festival and they're like, oh, no one's hungry. Like, you didn't cook. Like the FIFA port was a joke. And everything they've done since then have been sort of like cautious optimism or just a downright negligence. And I would love to see them just like actually go all in, because like if you look at Ubisoft and Capcom and all the other big third parties, even Konami dragging and dropping their Konami Castlevania Contra collections, all that shit, they all clean up. Like they do really well. And so it's not that hard for them to look into their legacy catalog, which I know they're averse to at EA, and just putting their classic games on Switch where people will eat them up. But instead they put out these like half-ass ports, and then they use that as a market measure and go, no one wants our games, so we're going to skip this. Like that, I feel like that's that's exactly it.
Yeah, that's the weird thing, is that they are using it as a market measure. They're basically saying, buy Burnout. That's going to be our test for you. Well, you fail the test. You're not getting anything. And that's where, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You're going to spend too much on a port that isn't worth the price that EA is selling it to. But if you don't buy that port, you're not getting future support. Yeah. So, and EA knows that. They know they have Nintendo fans basically in that vice grip. Mm-hmm. And that's where it sucks to own a Nintendo console exclusively and say, I want all this third-party support, because Western companies still don't view the platform as a viable option for them to sell software.
Let's go over here. People that camp around corners with a sword in Halo are the same people that quit after winning first round in an online 1v1 Smash match. Also, the same kids that get excited about winning a participation trophy. I just feel sorry for them.
Who said that?
Cedric.
Cedric Mattel. Okay, yeah, he's freaking funny.
Oh yeah, that can be annoying for a few times if you get caught around the corner with a sword. But
yeah, and people who only do one match in Smash Brothers and the connection's good. It's like, I found a good connection. You only played one match.
Did you see that GIF that's going around from Halo 3 where the guy puts the shield and he throws the thing and lifts it up?
A lot of people don't know about the little things about Halo that are thrown in there.
That is such a good move. That guy was like,
Halo that people don't know about. It's fun.
Didn't see it coming.
I started to realize that there's quite a few people, I'll say, on Halo 3 PC who have not played Halo 3 much. So it's kind of funny sometimes to see some of the things they're not sure about in the different levels. So that's one of them though, Jordan. That was a good one. Frank says, is it just the quarantine, or do some games get more emotional as you get older? Don't remember crying during a game before, but Breath of the Wild, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Nier Automata have all made me tear up recently.
You got older.
No, I think a lot of it is, oh my God, there was a time where we could go outside.
I think one of Death Stranding really did it emotionally, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's because that had the music to go with it too.
That had great music, but like just the ending of the game is
yeah.
Yeah, but if you played that when you were 15, we really think it would have impacted you at all?
Yeah, because I was into sci-fi films like that would have affected me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends, like how well a game is able for you to be attached. And to feel. I think now that we have had a time to slow down and we're not going all the time, you are kind of able to be at a point where you're just a little bit more isolated. But I feel like a lot of people's I want to say feelings or empathy are out a little bit more. So I think it makes sense, you've been, this is something that, is stimulating your brain, but it's something that you're easily able to get attached to because you don't have a million other things going on in life right now.
I think that also comes with getting older. You've probably have suffered potentially some losses, whether it be family or friend, and you're more in tune with the world in reality. You're no longer living in that sheltered bubble of a 13-year-old where you think you're untouchable and you're immortal and that everything is just, happy-go-lucky. As you get older, you do have those tragedies that shape you.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I think right now specifically...
The tragedies that shape you.
Evan's never cried in his life, by the way, guys. Just letting you guys know. Even when he was a baby, he never cried.
I think
the game is to make others cry, OJ.
Oh man. Let's and we did have Shamsa donating $100. Shams to the MVP, of course, as usual.
Yay.
Shams is amazing.
Shams to the
Shamsa.
MVP. I mean, I saw that drawing though that Shamsa made for you, OJ. That is some legit stuff.
Yeah, and she said that she's gonna finish it later.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's not even done, and it was.
You gonna post
cool.
that? You
We
gonna post
need
that
it.
up on Twitter because I need to see that when it's done.
Yeah, I posted it on Twitter. Oh, you mean when she finishes it?
I saw the one that you did. Yeah.
Yeah. When she finishes it, I'll post it on Twitter. Definitely put it as my profile pic or something.
Yo,
yeah.
we're gonna get
Shamsa.
an Evan and Shamsa collab.
She found my
Crossover?
Instagram, so
There we go.
Hog.
Okay.
Yeah, I told her about you, Evan. I was like, yeah, you're really good. Like Evan's probably like the best artist that I know of. And then she's like, oh, who is that? I was like, Evan from the Spawncast. She's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go follow.
Let's finish up with the week coming up here. There seem to be two different things. I guess one rumored to be happening, and the other thing is definitely happening on the 23rd. That's Microsoft's event. We've talked a little bit about Microsoft's event, but the rumor, Nate, is that there is something from Nintendo taking place this week, right? Some sort of direct or mini direct or something happening. People seem to believe it's on the 20th still.
Yeah, that's the word.
Okay, that's the okay.
That's the word. What's your word, Nate?
Yeah, Nate,
What
what's
do you
your word?
That's my word.
We gotta be stuck.
My word's been out there for 2 weeks. People can search for it.
Oh, what? I'm not on what? Where are we searching?
Search for it on Twitter. You can search it. It's all over the place. It's on websites.
Which
Can
one?
you just tell us right now?
is it
Nate?
your word or is it like
now,
a
I
gif of
guess.
something?
Oh gosh, Nate's been the topic of conversation over on Reset Era apparently. So let us know, Nate.
A lot of questions. They need
questions. Nate's
someone
keeping
needs far too much reassurance. I don't know why they can't just take July 20th and live with it. They need reassurance every day. This is your reassurance again today.
Do they have to live with it like earlier in the morning, or can we, go to the gym and then live with it later in the afternoon?
Yeah, like what is Pacific time, Eastern? Like what are we looking at?
What time are we putting out Newsweek?
What time do you go to the gym?
Like 12 or 1 o'clock.
You know what? This will be my info drop for everyone. You can listen to my video tomorrow and you'll find out.
Oh,
Okay,
come
but
on.
is your video like earlier in the morning, kinda, or is your video like?
Is my video? My video's up in the morning tomorrow.
Okay, so I can check it out before the gym then. Cool.
You could, and you might find out the time of whatever's happening on July 20th.
Okay. All right, fine. July 20th.
Catch me up. So
No, if there's a thing.
the rumor logic here is that they're announcing a direct tomorrow and then it's happening the next day, or they're announcing a direct on Monday.
We believe that there's just a mini, basically, or a drop. Like it
Who
wouldn't be
said a
announced.
mini?
Or, okay, a full direct, but
A
they're
micro.
gonna drop it. Or are they really going to announce it on Sunday and then do it Monday?
There's a potential that they could announce it tomorrow night for anticipation of a direct on Monday morning, or they could
You
just drop it on
teasing us,
Monday.
Nate.
But what if-
you
what
playing
if-
with my heart?
But like, what if there isn't anything?
If there isn't, it's because
Something went
Business as
horribly
usual,
wrong.
Jordan.
I
Business
mean,
as
one,
usual.
As usual.
one there is.
Not Paper
so it
Mario.
doesn't
That's
matter.
it. That's all you get for the
the-
year.
Wait, Nate, repeat what you just said. What did you just say, Nate?
What did I say?
Yeah,
I
what did you
said
just say
Paper
right now?
Mario's out now, and they have no games dated. So
No,
they have
rewind.
to
What
communicate
did you
with
say?
No, rewind a little bit. People didn't hear it.
What'd you say, Nate? Someone in the chat caught it.
July 20th is a day. It's a Monday, and if you should probably direct your attention to that day. I mean, that's all.
So you're saying
Direct-
Tuesday the 21st?
No,
Oh,
Monday, July 20th.
got it. Sunday, July
I will be
19th.
curious. I will be curious if they announce it tomorrow or if they just drop it.
They might. They might just drop it too. I don't.
It depends on the
It's
factors.
Nintendo. It's Nintendo. They like to do things their way.
It's
Okay,
abject
so-
chaos.
We assume it's going to be heavily Mario themed. Is the idea?
I'm sure that would be a
Yes.
decent portion of it, but it's not just Mario.
Yeah, it's not just Mario. They still need to announce a few other games. I assume Pikmin's going to be there. They need to let me off the hook and announce Metroid Prime Trilogy already, obviously.
All I can say is watch the video tomorrow. Maybe we talk about Metroid Prime Trilogy in it.
Whoa, hold on a minute. Hold
Maybe
on.
we do. Maybe we don't. Samus is in my
Nintendo-
thumbnail.
Nintendo's
You're the
fine.
worst.
Samus
Samus
is
is in my thumbnail.
So they're
Pinball 2?
they're finally going to let me
Ooh,
off the hook.
I'd be down for pinball too.
I would be down for pinball too.
Dude, pinball would look great on the Switch. Like pinball, Metroid. That would
also a new Pokemon pinball game. What about a Nintendo pinball game?
It can't be the only Metroid Prime game, man.
No, it can't be the only one.
No. Sorry, we're also getting Federation Force 2.
So is it? Watch it end up being the 2D. Watch it end up being the 2D Metroid.
I love 2D Metroid. I like 2D Metroid more.
But I need Prime Trilogy to be announced so I can get off the hook already for this. It's been 2 years.
Metroid Prime Samus or Metroid Samus Returns is so good, but it's just on 3DS. Like imagine
they mod status back. Okay, they took that.
Maybe Samus Returns to the Switch.
Oh.
Who knows? We'll find out. These are just predictions. My video is a prediction. It is not a leak.
You're getting excited. Stop. This is getting awkward.
It's a prediction. A prediction.
Don't say that, Nate.
Hold on.
If it's wrong, there's going to be a lot of F's and zeros.
Nate, you're getting in trouble.
I have an aunt who works at Nintendo, and her name is Samus. And she said that on Monday they're dropping every Metroid game ever made plus Pinball Soccer all at once.
Pinball Soccer.
And not only are they free, but they'll pay you when you download them. So
Nate, if nothing happens, do you think Reset Era will give you your mod status back to just take it away again?
I stepped down. I Nixoned it.
Okay.
I don't want it back.
All right, so
you're not a crook.
I hope they canceled the direct.
They're watching right now, dude.
I hope they put out a tweet tomorrow
from
saying,
this day forever.
No more.
You're being watched right now, Nate. Thanks. All right.
Yeah,
so,
thanks a lot, everybody. Ninjas are knocking at the door.
20th. You didn't say the 20th. All right. That was someone else. Someone else said the 20th. Okay.
Yeah, you totally didn't say Monday the 20th direct sometime
early
in the morning.
I did say July 20th before anyone else did.
Okay.
That's just a date, though. Like, that exists every year.
Not every year.
Anyway,
so, the real question is, do you guys think they can hit 60 frames per second in the Federation Force port? Because
I don't know. That's asking a lot.
Let's hope.
It is asking a lot. Yeah,
that's a powerful game right there.
Federation Force is a fantastic game that no one played.
So 3D collection, right? That's the bit.
It's a bad.
Hey, whoa! Let's not disrespect Federation Force.
So
it was the game. It was the game nobody wanted, and it came out at a bad time.
So it needs to be re-brought out by the guys that did Deadly Premonition 2, is what you're telling me.
Now we're talking.
Oh, no.
See, this is innovation at a great level. I love it.
So 3D collection, right? See, everyone's asking Nate, about questions and stuff, but it's still not. The video's still not 1,000 likes. So I mean, you know
what? I hope the whole direct is Federation Force and Mario Sunshine, because that's what everyone deserves.
I mean, that's a win.
That is what we deserve.
Sunshine.
18 years anniversary, baby.
I wish sunshine upon you.
That game sucks.
So
such a punishment, Nate.
Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy. I'm gonna say September on that one. 3D World Deluxe. I wonder if that's this year. You think 3D World Deluxe would fall to next year?
Why is that game
no
Switch yet?
I think it makes it in time for the holiday. Could be December, but I think it makes it in time for the holiday.
They put it in Zelda's year. Keep it in
mind. Fringe.
Oh, sorry.
We're getting so close to the end of the year, kind of. By the time these games coming out, that Mario celebration could end up into next year too. Like, I don't think it has to just be cut off at the end of 2020.
MVG and I go into this in great detail.
So. I'm curious if they do anything else. We're talking about Metroid all of a sudden. You're saying Samus Returns might just...
I'm just saying she's in my thumbnail.
Okay. All right.
Samus
There's a lot of stuff in my thumbnail.
Nate, we're all going to watch the video tomorrow, okay? That's fine.
There's a lot of stuff in there. Things you might not even catch.
She doesn't have Sean's face because I'm not making the thumbnail.
No. I could have had you do the butterfly.
It sounds like we just said too much about the director.
Why would a butterfly be in there? Does that mean Bayonetta?
Oh, gosh.
No.
Okay. Yeah, Bayonetta 3. I don't know what happened to that game. I assume it's.
I'm working on it. It's coming, guys. Don't worry. Okay.
2022, baby.
OJ's taking over.
I'm working on it.
I don't think Breath of the Wild 2 will be shown or mentioned at this direct coming up. I feel like it won't be.
I'm working on that.
I wouldn't anticipate it.
I mean, even one now. There's the rumored leak or the rumored thing around a Twitter account for F-Zero. So
Yeah.
F-Zero confirmed, obviously.
We did talk about F-Zero in the video.
Oh yeah.
People came rushing. By the way, people watching your video, John, come rushing into my stream. Hey, did you hear? F-Zero.
There's
I heard it on
F-Zero
Spywave.
Twitter account linked to the same email supposedly as the Mario 35th, which is Nintendo. I think
There's
either
gonna
way.
be another one tomorrow.
What?
There's
Gonna
gonna
be a new
another,
Twitter.
There's gonna be another game linked to that account tomorrow. I wonder if people will find it.
Would you find one?
Better game.
Pikmin 3, 4. Pikmin 4.
No,
You're stressing me out, Nate. You're
Pikmin
stressing me out.
Deadly
I
Premonition
Either
3.
way, I think it's going to be a good direct either way.
obviously
I think they'll
Star Tropics.
outline the rest of this year. I'll be curious if they go into next year at all.
I think it'll be a solid direct.
I think it'll be good. I mean, every direct obviously is like it depends on what
Keep
you like.
expectation.
Wait, you said
realistic.
solid. Is Metal Gear coming
Oh.
over finally?
Christ's sakes.
You gotta be careful. This one's sneaky. He says words that mean other things.
Did you guys hear what he said though? Keep expectations realistic. It's not going to be Persona 6. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be like
Persona
GTA
5.
8.
Are we even
It's
sure
not
what
gonna be all that
realistic
stuff.
expectations are anymore? Like,
Do we have any? I mean, does anyone have like a
Nobody
weird
does.
out of left field prediction for it? Before we really quickly talk about the Xbox event and finish up with Super Chest, do we have any crazy prediction that's thrown out?
Pokemon Sleep update.
That's not even on Switch.
It's coming to Switch.
Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is coming to Switch.
Okay.
Star Fox Grand Prix.
Eminem Racing 2.
oh,
No.
I predict that Nintendo fans will not keep expectations realistic.
That's way too realistic to predict.
Ghost of
I hate
Tsushima
how true
also.
it is, though. I just hate how true it is, dude.
Well, because they have to come out every single time and they're like, we're only talking about a purple Pikmin for 60 minutes today. And people are like, yeah? What about Metroid?
well, it's purple, so obviously Waluigi's in there, so
All
it's
right,
coming to.
do we say Pikmin 4? Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Just throw that in
I
there?
don't know why you would.
Okay, fine. New Kid Icarus game done.
Not
No, Sakurai's chained to his desk.
That dude has 2 TVs in the living room. He knows something.
Yeah,
Sakurai's
because he's
chained to
playing
his desk working on
He's playing
Smash
Kid
Bros.
Icarus
forever.
Uprising on 2 monitors to replicate the 3DS experience.
Means he can work on Smash Brothers and Kid Icarus at the same time.
There we go. He figured it out. 2 TVs.
He's also not eating. Have you seen him lately? He's also not eating at all.
Because everyone demands Min, you ungrateful swine.
You think
Okay,
as
so let me
he
have-
was looking at the art of her eating ramen, he was just like starving inside.
So hungry.
So there you go. Nate is of course 20th. All that good stuff. He wouldn't. I'm still trying to figure out morning or afternoon. Somewhere in there. Okay, somewhere in there. It's
Oh
fine.
my. It will happen over the course of the day.
What
Okay.
about Power? Okay, real quick, one more thing. Power Stone 3.
It's not a real question.
Wait, here's something. You guys never thought of this one. A AAA Knights reboot.
Oh, we're in. All right. Yeah, and so let's go over quickly to the Xbox event. We've talked about this because this thing got announced a while ago, but it is the last week. Any final prediction for this thing? Anything big you want to see here? Without
Fable.
going through everything. Okay, Fable.
Fable,
Yeah.
baby.
Fable, I think, is the big one that has to be there because it sounds like the initiative will not be there.
Unfortunately, not.
Right. So I think Fable has to be that big game that they show there alongside of some of their other first party stuff. That is the one that I'm really hoping for, and I hope it looks great. So that's my big hope.
It's gonna look so good.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Because they need to showcase that
good.
first party talent from Microsoft.
Really, Dr. Claw? Breath of the Wild 3.
Hey,
You're
they can
expecting
dream.
Breath of the Wild 3.
They can
Scalebound.
Scalebound. Interesting. You know what? I'm also wondering if they drop Elden Ring in there.
Maybe.
Because Phil
Yes.
mentioned, Phil mentioned
Yes.
that they were very happy about some of the Japanese studio support that they're going to have there. So Elden Ring,
Phantasy
Elden
Star
Ring is the
Online
best
3.
candidate.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We haven't seen much about it. I don't think Tales of Arise will be there necessarily. Although they could show something just to remind us about it. But they said it was falling to next year.
Okay, I've heard a few. I guess I can tell you guys later about that game.
Oh, okay, great. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. That's a game I was looking forward to. Good to hear.
There's problems.
So
Everyone
I think that's the biggest thing for me is I would like to see support from a Japanese studio. Elden Ring would be cool, but some surprise like a Phantasy Star Online 2 out of nowhere, that would be great. That'd be really fun. And they gotta blow me away with Halo Infinite. Okay, I've heard about this game too long. It's finally time. I need to be. So that day, 23rd, I need to leave that, and I need to immediately tweet Halo is back. That's what I need to be able to do. Okay, so don't let me down.
You're gonna say Nate was right. Have faith in 343.
Okay.
I don't know
you
about that
understand
yet.
why it's been tough, right? You understand why? I Halo
Have
5.
faith in 343.
I don't know about that yet.
I want to be
Let's
able to stand up, flip over a table, and then tweet out that Halo is back. Okay?
That seems a bit extreme.
Is it though?
We'll build a small desk on top of the big desk, and then you can flip that.
Okay, fine. Yes, that's what I Halo Infinite has to blow me away. It's gonna be campaign gameplay. It has to showcase the Xbox Series X. I think is the biggest thing, right? They have to show me, and I think we'll see Forza. It's the racing game. That's fine, but like Halo.
Which one, a regular one or a Horizon?
I kind of want a date for Halo too. Like I kind of want to know when it's coming out, but then they tell us when the system's coming out because it's going to launch alongside it. So
Yeah, you can probably wait till August for that.
yeah. Probably.
A lot
But
of good things in August.
Halo Infinite's the big one. Fable, and I'd like to see some sort of Japanese studio support. Maybe something from Sega. Maybe they're rolling with a new Vanquish. There you go.
There is a lot of stuff in August.
There's a lot of stuff in August. It's gonna be
Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, I'm not saying anything about August, okay?
We're just
July's almost over.
Okay.
we're just
We're
talking
down here
about
trying to get famous on the internet.
I think it's gonna be a shocking good time.
Gosh.
shocking, huh?
Okay. Stop. You're gonna get in trouble. Let's
Time to dig up that coal for the fire.
Oh my god.
Calm down.
okay.
Oh, what about Goose Game? I told you all the Goose was gonna fly again this year, and what happens? Physical release, September, Switch, PS4. Boom. Comes with a no Goose sticker and a map.
Evan, we have Discord questions over there.
I am playing Goose Game retail.
We went way in overtime. We kept Brian here this whole time while I listened to us do a bunch
Goose
of
Game.
inside jokes and roundabout sayings for things that are probably happening soon and then in August. So go ahead, Evan. Here's the Discord question.
Goose Game.
Someone's brought up that when we first started up Spawnwave and Newswave, we did talk about how it was kind of inspired by G4 TV. He was wondering if
It indeed was.
Yeah, he was wondering if in the future we were planning on expanding it with more shows and people to kind of emulate what G4 was going for. I figured that it is kind of a goal, but YouTube kind of stands in the
Early
way of it.
G4, okay? We're not going to go into late G4, okay? That got a little out there.
Come on, let's get cops back on the show.
There was a lot. They aired a lot of stuff with like cheaters.
Let's
and
do
all this stuff.
cheaters, dude.
They went
So
wild
do
there,
cheaters.
so-
Come on, let's
That
go.
was a great show.
That guy got stabbed 3 times in that series.
What?
Well, he got stabbed on a
really did.
boat. It was ridiculous.
On the show?
Yes. They had to
Yeah.
get the
Why did
boat
he
back
get
to the shore.
stabbed?
They're pulling him off. He was like, no. There's a guy chasing him down an alleyway with a gun. Like, get the boat. It was great.
Well, now I know what my role would be. I'd be the guy getting
Okay.
stabbed doing interviews on the street.
It's a possibility, yes, that we could continue expanding out. But I kind of like where we are now. But yes, that is the idea, is to do other things, do more things, right? That's always the idea going forward. So yes, but G4 heavy influence. Love G4.
What about Attack of the Show?
I like to Attack of the Show.
I don't know. I got pretty weird.
It seemed that show it seemed cool, but then when you watch it, it's actually not that good. But it
Didn't it have
seemed cool.
Olivia Munn?
You're excited for it, and then you start watching, you're like, this isn't very good. So you're excited at the beginning, then it just gets progressive.
Oh, I like
worse.
that. Cheaters with
as you
Sean
watch
as
it.
the host. Let's do
I
it.
saw that. It's perfect.
G4TV.com was much better. I think that was a much better show. G4TV.com was amazing.
I like G4 a lot. I liked Cinematech was good because you could see all the different games. It was just cutscenes, which at the time was weird because we didn't have
Icons.
Like Icons was phenomenal. You can
So
still
good.
watch Icons, and it is phenomenal.
So good.
The NES one was really good. Like they paint the picture how dire the situation was for Nintendo to come in and try to make that work after.
Judgment Day. That was also very good. Love Judgment Day.
Terminator 2, love it.
We need to try to get Victor Lucas on here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Talk to
He's awesome.
Victor, let's see if we can get on here. Dallas says, love listening to you guys talk about video games while I'm working at Sonic Drive-In.
A lot of Sonic
Sean's
talk
cousin.
tonight.
Sean's cousin out there.
Brent says, Fred Savage and Ben Savage from Boy Meets World are brothers.
We know that.
What?
Isaac says,
Wait a minute.
Isaac,
Mind blown.
Oh my god!
telling me. Isaac says I just had the worst.
Oh, just Coleman.
So many things make so much sense now.
Yeah, that episode on Boy Meets World where he punches.
Let me look it up.
Wow. I can't believe we missed that. Where's Sean? Sean, come back.
Isaac
He's
says I
busy
just
right
had the worst run of my life. I fell twice. My phone almost broke, and my fan did break, which had me wondering what's your guys' worst workout. That's a pretty bad run.
Are you on a treadmill?
I'm gonna assume yes. I'm gonna assume yes.
I signed up for a gym for the first time like a couple of years ago. Don't judge me. And one of the things that gyms have is they have like those spray bottles that you're supposed to spray down the equipment when you're done. And
You tried to taste it. I feel you.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that, and so I got off a treadmill and the weight bench and everything like that, and I was covered in sweat. And I grabbed like a couple of the paper towels from the paper towel thing, and I sprayed it down with the spray bottle, and I just wiped my face off.
Okay, that's good. That's good stuff.
You're burning your skin off. Like,
Are wide open and you're sweating out, and I was just like, it's just
oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys have ever, I mean, I played football and I was exercising before. I was going for a tryout for the old UFL league, and I pulled my hamstring. I don't know if you guys, a severe pull, just
Did it roll up like a friggin' window blind?
Yeah, it just went snap, and I literally felt the just say you're old, just snap, and it just went.
I was watching some like weightlifter stuff, and they were curling, and you saw his bicep do that. I was like,
yeah. Okay. I could literally see it in my leg. It looked like something happened. I looked at my leg, and I was like, oh, this is good.
Justy says Paper Mario got too many hate, but it's a good game, good easy game. There you go. Jack says, you think Nintendo may move to newer hardware and a new cartridge format sooner than they want to get away from the easily hacked Tegra X1 Switches and all their games getting pirated? Well, their newer Switch systems are harder. If you didn't see it, the way that people are hacking these things are insane now. You have to solder stuff to the chip itself. So like they're kind of past that now for the most part from the exploitable X1, but they have 20 million of them out there. So yeah, it's a little they've kind of moved. The new one's just much harder with the product that's out there now. It's not something most people do. Eric says hard mode in Ghost, Japanese voice getting rocked. Yeah, I imagine hard mode is very difficult. I did normal first. I might go back and try hard.
Actually, afterward. For Ghost, from what I've watched, one of my favorite things about kind of like the built-in difficulty is that the Mongols speak Mongolian. So like when they're yelling at each other to do things, you have no idea what the hell they're saying.
Oh, that's true.
Crisis did that in the harder modes. The Koreans would start speaking Korean at the higher tiers. So it was awesome.
It says Aiden Quinn says, bro, I totally confused Brian for that bald dude from the live action Alvin in the Chipmunks movie.
Jason Earl?
David Cross?
Who
is David Cross in that movie?
Is that who it is?
Yeah, he plays like their agent. He tries to exploit the Chipmunks for personal gain.
Yes, I will say I would do that too.
You evil man.
Bushin says, hijacking the super chat. Please press 1 if you bought Ghost of Tsushima. Justin says, RGT, get that 60-inch sub. He's talked about it. I don't think he's bought it yet, though.
I think it got discontinued.
It got discontinued.
Why he doesn't buy 2 30-inch?
They made that. Yeah, they made that just for him to see if he would buy it. So, Venicera says Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake turns 30 on Monday. I wonder if they would ever go back and try to recreate one of the older Metal Gears that were like all top down and 2D. That would be interesting to see that from a different perspective. But would Konami do it, and would they be capable of doing it without it being terrible?
No.
Okay,
you're right.
Shinru says, hey guys, what's the most polarizing game this generation? I'm stuck between Death Stranding or Last of Us Part 2. Thoughts? Probably Last of Us Part 2.
Last of Us.
Yeah.
It was
Death Stranding seems like nothing compared to what
I was
Last
gonna say, no, from what I'm seeing online, like I played through Last of Us Part 2, gave my thoughts, and I moved on. That it's still wild out there for Last of Us Part 2.
I just want to say this because I don't want to get into like any more debates about this on Twitter.
Yeah, sure.
But after a third playthrough of the game and fully taking in the cutscenes and exploring the world and the story a little bit more, even though I still have some major problems with the game and the pacing and the way it was told, I've raised my score up to a 7 out of 10. So there you go.
6. It was 6, right?
I had it at a 6. Now it's a 7.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Fair enough. Third place in. Yeah.
Full point, man. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to address something right now.
All right, Nate.
I did not hint at a Samus Returns HD shadow drop on Monday.
Nate,
Half of those
Yes,
words
you
didn't
did!
even come out my mouth.
No, I'm against you. Yes, I'm actually gonna put that on Twitter right now.
I did not say that was happening.
Hurry, John, take the reins. We're gonna be here for another hour.
No, okay, we're gonna go through this. It's getting late. It's almost midnight here.
HD was coming out, and it was going to be $150. And it's dropping.
Mirror Shield says, "Are you guys surprised Sony didn't show haptic feedback in their main show? That info is a system seller." I believe Jeff Keighley talked about it quite a bit. It's the problem with haptic feedback. You really have to feel it for yourself, and that's I think one of the reasons that Nintendo kind of traveled around a little bit and did their events, because they made us do nothing but like haptic feedback stuff with 1-2 Switch and all of this. You just have to. People just need to try it. So if you have a Switch, though, you've been using haptic feedback for the past few years. So yes. Joe Smith says, "What will the future of video game tournaments look like after the Smash allegations?" Who knows?
Oh, I mean, it's so hard to say again because it's not really like
that's like a whole podcast on its own right there. Gee,
That's a whole podcast on its own. The people that are, I'll just say this real quick. The people that are trying to make Smash work or whatever, they've been doing stuff and donating to sexual abuse stuff and all that, but we'll see. They got to prove that they're gonna be able to make it acceptable for kids and women.
Yeah,
and that's got to be something that they got to do first before it ever comes back.
Core Sonic says, "I love the old Paper Mario battle formula instead of the ring battle system." Juice Man Vaughn says, "Paper Mario was always a B tier series to me. If they want to experiment past JRPG mechanics, it's fine to me as long as the writing and humor stays intact," which it has. Severe says, "Hey, from Norway. I'm drunk. Love the podcast. Going to Spotify soon with a question mark." Hey, Spotify, want to make the call? Let me know. No, we're on YouTube. We're hanging out. So we're not even on Spotify. I don't know. We still haven't figured that out, Evan.
We don't even know what Spotify's up to right now. So we'll wait and see. So.
Even Nate the hate's on Spotify.
Yeah, but I need to
they already recruited you.
As far as
we got a $200 million contract.
The people.
Oh. Wait,
the person that MVG told me to
reviewing channels still.
But the person that MVG told us to look into, we're not seeing anything about transferring, and I really don't want to manually transfer like 200 episodes of this over.
That makes sense. And hey guy, Tone says, "Hey guys, who's ready for some Elden Ring at the Microsoft event?" Good call. And then Zoom says, "The Ubisoft formula is the delivery pizza of single player games. Please don't skip my Discord question. It ties into Ghosts of Tsushima." All right, Zoom, I'll check that out. And
no, we did that one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're all through them.
We're how many other Discord questions we have, Evan? Because I think we're just about
kind of two. They're both kind of trolly. One's basically hinting that Don't Get Caught was pulled because it was going to coincide with PlayStation 5's launch until that got pushed because it didn't want to, coincide with Don't Get Caught. Dumb stuff.
I already explained why I got pulled. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
but then a lot they're getting pulled in that game.
Yeah. But then the other one's just who played Mario Tennis Aces last.
Who played it last? Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of when the last time I played it.
I played it when it was free on the Nintendo Switch Online service.
It's probably me. I'm probably the last one to play it then.
I'm trying to think of.
I still play it every now and then.
Okay.
It's just the waits are a while. Like they're fun games. It's just it's like ARMS. There's not a lot of people playing them.
I can find a match in ARMS right now.
Oh god.
Okay, well now probably because I'm Min. I mean before then, sir.
Nah, yeah, I've always been able to find matches.
What else? What we'll do to finish up here, we're gonna go around and I'll do some of the last super chat questions as we do some outros here. Then
overtime.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, an hour ago.
Yeah, but Brian stuck with us. Brian, I appreciate you being here, man.
Of course, love you guys.
What do you got going on? Anything you want to tell the people? Anything fun? Anything interesting?
So on Wednesday, Thursday next week, IGN is the official sort of like collaborator with San Diego Comic-Con. So we are live streaming for 4 days straight. I'll be writing and hosting a bunch of stuff from that, interviews, panels, all that.
That's awesome.
So yeah, super
That's
cool.
a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You're probably excited though, man. There's gonna be some cool stuff coming out of there.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. You get to talk to some very wonderful
And
people.
don't forget his Family Matters podcast coming soon.
That's right. Oops, did I do that is coming to podcast services very soon. As soon as we find hosts, producers, and people willing to take over this.
Spotify is on the phone right now.
I still think Sub of War would be the
Recording
best Sean
devices.
series ever.
That's a free idea, by the way. Anyone?
And also check out Brian on Twitter. Obviously,
right.
he's there. Check him out there. Looking forward to that though. I'm excited for that. It'll be fun. San Diego Comic Con.
I know a lot of people are big fans of Family Matters, so I think it's gonna be. Also go check out the we had OJ on NBC 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Check that out.
Awesome episode. We'll do that again soon. And if
Absolutely.
any of you ever want to come on, we'll pull some strings and make sure it happens too, because I love working with all of you because it's
Cool.
It's a good time.
I'll come on there. Just let me know. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. Ethan R says, "Screw Mario Sunshine and its stupid anniversary."
How dare you?
Not wrong.
All right, Ethan.
Not wrong.
All right, Ethan.
Wise man, Ethan. Wise man.
Eric, are you sure? Are you sure you want to say that, Nate? Before I scroll up any further,
Why? What did they say after
I'm gonna give you. I don't know. It's Ethan R. You never know. You never know
That's
what's going to
true.
scroll.
That's true. Probably the next tweet. Nate sucks. So
Maybe. Eric says, "Am I the only one that reversed the cover art for Paper Mario?" I looked inside. I did not reverse it though.
I didn't get it.
Juicy says, "Ethan Sunshine is now 18, and we need 3D Mario Collection on holiday." Joseph says, "Spawn, if you don't mind me quickly asking, what are your personal opinions on Switch emulation? Do you think that it's unethical?" I think for what they're doing, it's technically legal. What they're doing, because it's open source, they're doing all of their own code. But it is an odd situation because it is literally in the middle of the Switch's run right now to have an emulator that actually played Paper Mario. I think the real question is the piracy issue. That's technically away from Yuzu because Yuzu is an open source emulator. So unfortunately, Nintendo really has no legal ground pulling it down. For people who are concerned about it, it'll pretty much stay up. So, but that is a serious question right now because it's one thing if it's a legacy thing, like how Brian, you're talking about the PSP being emulated and everything, you know. But it is weird that we're in like the 4th year of the Switch and it's completely emulated now for the most part for certain things. It's very odd. It's an odd situation. It also probably wouldn't matter as much if it wasn't so easy for people to dump Switch games. If Nintendo didn't sell 20 million Switch systems that were easily hackable. So, yeah, that was kind of an issue. Corsonic says, "Here is a question: is Final Fantasy VII Remake a sequel or just enhanced version from the original Final Fantasy?"
whole different story.
That's gonna keep us going for a while.
Yeah,
It's a reboot. It's a reboot of the game.
Yeah, reboot. Yeah.
There we go. Jose Cruz in the super chat. Thanks, Jose. Matthias says, "What are your opinions on the direct rumors?" We just talked about those. So go back and listen to them because apparently Nate made the internet go crazy randomly. So there you go.
That's something I didn't say.
I heard exactly what you said.
I hope they cancel this thing.
Jose says, "Will we ever get a Mario and Luigi RPG game?"
Sure.
Maybe.
We've had several of them.
20 years from
Yeah,
now, 30
like
years
more?
from
I think we will. Love Empath says Ultra Mario Bros will be next instead of Super Ultra Mario Bros. Nathan says, "I know it's a bit early to say, but when do you think we will hear about Nintendo next gen system?" My guess is late next year. I'm gonna say 2023, early 2023 or late 2022.
I mean, full next gen successor, or are we talking about a revision?
I'm gonna say next gen successor. That's why I'm saying late 2022, early 2023 at probably the earliest.
Monday.
Yeah, 2022 sounds about right.
Yeah. Dr. Claude just says Rico sucks. There we go. Joshua says, "Y'all complained about Comcast like 20 years ago. We weren't kicking our parents off the phone to game."
That's true.
Yeah, we were. Bob says, "Question: Bug Fables or Paper Mario? Origami King." I'm gonna say Bug Fables if you liked old Paper Mario. Origami King if you want something, I guess, that's just more adventure oriented. Like if you're not really into the RPG battles, then probably Bug Fables is good though. was very good. Eric says Brian needs to be a steady fixture on the show. Always good to have Brian here. He'll pop in here and there. It's great to have him on. So,
I'm all yours whenever you guys need me.
Ryan says perfect brick of decomposing roach corpses. Yes, thanks, Evan. Thanks for that. Thank you.
It was so perfect. It was like jello.
As the Spawn Wave opened so many consoles, thumbs up. Yes, thousands at this point. I do want to open. There was one that was very expensive that I opened, and I want to do that again. But they're kind of hard to find on eBay. But I will keep looking. Van says, panel's thoughts on DualSense reveal from Jeff. I thought it was okay. It was cool to see it in action. I thought it was really interesting. It's the Astro Bot game Playroom, but again, it's tough. It's a controller. Like it's like it'd be cooler if you were there and they just hand it to you and like, this is the DualSense. You're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like somebody else describing food they're eating. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I was not hyped at all.
And
It's
we're
like
hungry.
a controller, bro. it's a controller.
But it's the DualSense.
Dr. Claw, realistic expectations. Breath of the Wild 3 confirmed. Jordan, where can they find you? You started your channel back up. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I talk about a mixture of things. Right now I'm talking about some 90s and early 2000s cartoons. I have 2 videos up right now. Wild Thornberry's video, I talk about that, and I did a video with my buddy Nerdstalgic talking about All Grown Up from the Rugrats, and I have 3 videos coming out every week roughly. I'm working on Monday's video. It's an interesting one. I can't show. There's specific reasons I can't show a lot of footage because there's a lot of explicit things in this show. But it's an interesting one. So go check out the channel. It's called Pickle. You want to know why? Because people keep asking. It's like, why pickle? I'm talking about 90s and 2000s stuff. It's a pickle in a blue shirt. What other pickle in a blue shirt do you know of? Tommy Pickles from the Rugrats. Yeah, you got it. So go check it out if you want content that isn't me sitting there opening Pokemon cards for 25 minutes going, oh my gosh, I can't believe I pulled this. So have fun with that.
Damn.
Ian says, OJ, what is the name of Fiora's brother in Xenoblade?
Duncan.
Cohen says, with Retro Studios recently hiring people with experience in online multiplayer games, do you think Metro Prime 4 has the potential to truly become Nintendo's Halo? If it's online, it could be a pretty good arena style shooter, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd say it's possible. I don't know. They could do it.
Possible. I mean, it's unlikely, but it's possible.
Mac Mega says, would the Xbox One X for $300 or less be a good pickup before they are all discounted? You should be able to find a factory refurbished Xbox One X right now for about $230, no problem. I don't think that's actually a bad deal for that either. Considering the Xbox One S will probably be discounted down to $200, and that'll probably be where they stick for 2 years. So just throwing it out there. If you want it for like a spare room or something, that's not a bad price for what's the technology in there. Misclick, where can they find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. You guys can find me on YouTube. Take a little hiatus for a bit, but Misclick Gaming. I'm live basically every day on Twitch, though. You can type in Misclick Gaming there too. You can find me, or Misclick_live. Other than that, just Misclick, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Yeah, that's about it. I just exist.
Then HB Mento says, thoughts on Catherine full body on Switch. I'm actually still waiting. I think they said they were going to send it out to us. So I was still waiting for it to show up. But from what I've seen, it's Catherine.
I played it.
So
it's good.
It's good. Like I like that.
thing.
Yeah, I like that a lot on the 360, and I want to play it again with this.
I played on casual mode. I don't care. I just played on casual. Go right through.
The story was interesting, so I liked it. Alex says, I want to see Conker's Bad Fur Day 2 and a new Banjo game. If they get Conker, have something big. Wayne says Zelda 4 Swords Adventure GameCube for £50 deal. And Zaire Miller says, will we see something Zelda related at this direct? I don't believe so, because I think it's gonna be a lot of Mario. So
I wasn't listening.
Oh gosh. Will we see something Zelda related at this direct, Nate?
I am not anticipating anything Zelda related.
There we go.
Doesn't mean it won't be. I'm just not anticipating.
Oh, Alex says, if they say M returns HD, Nate says, I told you so. It'll be out there on the internet telling everybody he said it.
Nah, that's not my style.
Strawman says, what are your thoughts on Retro saying they won't ignore casual players in Metroid Prime 4? I think it means there'll be an easy mode as well. Very easy mode. which is fine. That's good. OJ, where can they find you, man?
Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube, Player Essence. I stream every single day, streamer, content creator. So I'm there talking to people about games. So go check it out. This upcoming week, we're going to have some stuff. Finally, I think I'm going to be able to stream GameCube. We'll see. But we have some pretty cool videos that we do every single day. So I upload different videos. But yeah, I mainly stream. So yeah, you guys go check it out. We're going to have a lot of fun this week talking about what potentially could happen. I don't know. Maybe Metroid, Samus Returns HD. So yeah, check it out.
I never said that.
Maybe you guys can check out my channel. Seriously, it's gonna be a lot of fun streaming. Come to the streams; they're fun.
On Monday.
Going over to Nate. This is from the Robot Chicken official. It says Nate may hate Hop, but has the experience Trace from Let's Go. And Nate, where can they find you?
True. Trace. I didn't play Let's Go.
Oh, okay. There you go. You probably wouldn't like them either. So there you go. Go ahead, Nate.
They can find me on Twitter at Nate the Hate, followed by the number 2, and on YouTube at Nate the Hate. Have a video tomorrow where MVG and I discuss and give our predictions for the rumored Nintendo Direct coming in the coming week. We talk for about an hour about it. We go over a lot of different games from Nintendo and third-party partners, predicting what could be there. I have to emphasize the word predict.
What's longer, the Direct or your video?
Oh my!
His video.
My video is.
Oh, so you know the length of the Direct then?
If the Direct is over an hour and 15 minutes, that's a hell of a Direct.
Oh gosh.
And we also have to answer questions in the thing. And the video tomorrow is dedicated to Shulk's abs because they're really feeling it. That's not a joke. And you can also find me on Twitter at Direct Feed Games.
What's it?
Was it you, OJ? Did you call yourself Shulk's abs and make a donation?
I might have.
That sounds like an OJ thing.
And I'll have some gameplay up on Direct Feed Games next week and a comparison to an upcoming release.
Okay. I think that's everything. Evan, we're good over there for Discord questions.
Yep, seems to be clear.
Cool. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us for this extended Spawncast. Brian, thanks for sticking with us. I appreciate it. It was a longer podcast, but we had fun. We got a little carried away with the Ghost of Tsushima talk, but it's a good game. So
I'm not looking forward to clipping this on Monday.
Okay, cool. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you next Saturday night where presumably we'll have something from Nintendo to talk about and something from Microsoft talk about. We'll see you guys.
Prediction.